The last stream I built with Cursor 2.0, and today I'm going to show you why I've been reaching for Droid more often. It's not that Cursor is bad, their agent window is actually really good, but what kept happening is that as soon as I started developing a feature and hit about 50% of my context window, agent would quickly forget my architecture. And what I found really strange, especially using it inside of Cursor 2.0's latest thing, is that I have these agents.md files as rules, and I also have Cursor rules. And so it keeps forgetting the setup, and every time I have to go create a new chat, copy the context window, and for me, it just keeps losing momentum. And even though I have a 1,000,000 token context window with Sonnet 4.5, as soon as I even get like past a couple 100,000 tokens that I've consumed, everything just kept falling apart and going downhill here. So what's interesting is I actually tried Droid with the same model and the same prompts, and check this out. I'll show you real quick. I got to 7 million tokens in one session. Yeah, that's 7 million right here as factory token usage. And this entire session, what I ended up doing was I actually ended up cleaning up all of the slop that Cursor actually generated, because I didn't realize it generated a lot of code that didn't follow my conventions. I'm still scrolling, by the way. Let me just go scroll back. This is my session right here. And I had to basically fix a whole bunch of bugs in my app called AnimeLeak. For AnimeLeak, for those who don't know, the problem I had when I implemented some new features on stream yesterday is not only can I actually toggle Halloween mode, which is really, really cool. I can upload images and do these types of things. And what I realized is that the entire time I was building with Cursor, it was actually not understanding the concept of using Convex as a database. And with Convex, what's nice about it is that everything's reactive. So as soon as you hit the backend, you'll get whatever values you need for my app. So what it was doing here in Cursor was it was actually marking these toggles as local state. And I don't need to do that. I could just tell it to go and grab whatever the value is because it's currently live and true inside of Convex. And so that caused complications because as soon as I will toggle this, some type of run loop would have to run in React to then trigger something and then invalidate this and then send this back up to my database to mark something and saying, hey, there's something in here. And what I ended up finding out that this toggle, there's just numerous amounts of problems. And this is just kind of like one of them that I ran into. And I was like, this is so annoying. So I had to pop into Droid and then kind of tell it a lot of these new conventions and then pull up some documentation and then update some of the rules files as well. And at that point, like it just kind of kept going. There's just a lot of different bugs that I fixed. This is me scrolling, by the way. This is the entire session for me, like last night. I was just so angry. And I was like, I wanted to give Cursor a sincere try, and that's exactly what I did. But I found that the code output with Sonnet 4.5 not to be as good when I'm just using straight up the droids. And so what's interesting about droids, like this whole session, I never had to create a new chat, clear context or anything like that. I literally just stayed in this entire chat. And this is what we're going to cover today on how I'm going to show you exactly how I build with Droid. We're going to add an 8-bit retro version. So as soon as I upload images, we're going to turn some of that stuff into 8-bit characters. Basically, I've been inspired by like the retro SNES, maybe the 16-bit stuff, Sega Genesis, those types of things. So as soon as I upload something, I want to kind of add that feature in here. So that'll be really cool. And you'll see how my workflow is when I'm building with Droid. This is going to be a really good one. And I'm not putting down anything that the Cursor team has done. They've done an incredible job and they have some really great planning things. And I love their user interface for doing all these things. And we will talk about it. I am going to be using Cursor as far as like managing the diffs and taking a look at these, how I have the app in here as well and integrated. And you can kind of see my previous chats here as well. And so this is what I'm going to use to like actually edit the code. So I'm not saying that Cursor is bad. I'm just telling you why I prefer using the model inside here. And we're going to kind of dig through that. So if you're down for that, this is going to be really, really cool. And like I said, this isn't about Droid being better or anything like that. It's just kind of me going through this workflow. We're going to hang out for this next session and really kind of cook with this type of stuff. So yeah, hello, can Droid code on Lua? I haven't done it personally, but I'm curious to see if anyone has. Definitely drop in the comments. The droids are cooking tonight. Yo, let's go. Big shout outs to Daniel Germain as well. Oven preheated and ready to cook. Yo, I love it. All the fans. I love everyone who's kindly showing up right now because we're definitely going to be cooking live here. So, all right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to my session here with Droid. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go /new. So start a new session and begins fresh. So here we go, new. And it should be clearing out everything that we had previously. So now we're going to start with everything new here. I have my app here, going to Control C, kill my back end, kill my front end as well. And then I'm going to also make sure that I have everything loaded up in my database. I've cleared everything out. Okay, this is kind of what I'm currently running with here. And so we have this little spooky Halloween mode. Okay, cool. So that's the production app, animeleak.com. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to load up, I think Droid's already loaded up. I'm going to go into spec mode. So spec mode here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of explain exactly what I want to do and say that I want to like basically change the toggle from the Halloween into now the 8-bit character. But I'm wanting to do a little bit of like re-architecting, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if you realize this, but I'm having to introduce new features like, you know, the animes, like the AnimeLeak is just the default thing whenever you upload an image. But now, like with Halloween being over, I can toggle that off and that's no longer available. But I want to have a different toggle maybe for 8-bit mode or experimental features. And so I want to see if we can help me like re-architect this app and take a look at the code base and see, we can see the power of how Droid kind of figures this stuff out here. So we have a brand new context window because I hit /new, and let's go ahead and see if we can start cooking here. So, okay. I want you to take a look at the architecture of my app and see if you can build a little bit of a data model to understand the current feature for how I'm implementing using the images to get generated with the Halloween toggle being on. Since Halloween is over and today's November 1st, I'm going to want to introduce new themes into the future. And the most immediate theme I'm going to go ahead and introduce is going to be one to turn some images into 8-bit. And as of now, I'm trying to keep everything as simple as possible. And the reason I introduced the Halloween toggle was for it to be a quick, fun way for people to experiment and play around and give me feedback. This is still an MVP stage, so people who are signing up for free and they're getting 10 images to use things, and I'm using this as a way to get feedback. So that's a little bit of context of what's going on. I want you to research in my app and make sure you can kind of describe these types of things. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about how to re-architect this so that it's easier to add more features in the future. So, okay. So right now I'm using the model with Sonnet 4.5 and I'm going to hit enter. And that's a nice little long prompt. And we're going to watch the Droid basically kind of do some of this research here. I'm going to see if I could probably increase the font so it's maybe easier to read. I'm just trying to look at this other screen and see how this looks like. But yeah, let me know if I need any fonts or anything bigger. Please let me know. All right, let's see. Tron mode. Yeah. Oh, Tron mode. Yo, that would be fire. See, I want to add features like that on the fly. And I wonder if I think I should probably just re-architect this. Ray, were you using the same model? Yes, I was. Exactly. So the model that I was using on Cursor was the Sonnet 4.5 in max mode. So the model that I would use here is basically right here, Sonnet 4.5, and then you just toggle max mode, and then you have the little thinking one. So that gives it extended thinking, and you technically get a 1 million token context window as soon as you cross that 2 million token mark as far as that. Let me kind of show you here. So as soon as you cross this here, this threshold of 200,000 tokens, then you start using the extended context window. So as soon as I started crossing that window or getting really close to the 200,000, the agent output was really kind of trash. And then further on after that, it just never really improved. And I felt like that was just really off. And so here with Droid, I just kind of kept going and going and going and going. And it just, I didn't really have to manage the context, which was really cool. And yeah, so we're going to take a look and see how many tokens it's going to take for us to not only do this research task. So I kind of break out my my building in a couple phases, right? Plan phase. This plan phase is really important to kind of nail down some things. So not only are we introducing a new feature, so this is not going to be a lightweight feature. We're introducing a whole architectural change, right? I threw in a feature yesterday because I needed to ship as fast as possible. We got that out the door. It was really ugly. I was so embarrassed because the states were not working correctly that I had to use the Droid to fix it, but that's a whole different thing. But today I'm going to try to actually see if I can fix the architecture, and if I can understand with some little bit of a data modeling type of stuff, how this really looks like, then adding future, sticker packs or whatever I end up doing in the future will be much easier to work with. And so I think the Droid is the task to do this, and we're going to kind of flow in this session. So yeah, plan mode first, then we're going to go into building, and then we're going to go into shipping, which would be really cool. So hopefully we can do this all in one session, and we're going to see the power of context management that I don't have to really think about. So here's a re-architecture plan. So the Halloween toggle to the multi-theme system. So Halloween mode is hard-coded with dedicated schema fields, which is kind of what's right here. So adding these new themes requires schema changes, new components, and duplicate code. And the system switches between two prompts, a standard prompt and a Halloween prompt. So we're going to replace the Halloween specific implementation with a flexible theme system. So this is the new schema and the breaking changes. So the create the themes table, we're going to do that. And then we have a theme. So this theme's IDs would be NES theme. This could be Thanksgiving. This could be Christmas. And then replace the images Halloween with images theme ID. So this is what we're going to put in its place. And then we're going to place the Halloween mode enabled with users active theme. So whatever the theme is active, I like this way of thinking, is really great. And then we're going to deprecate the Halloween settings table. So we have a dedicated table in my database. I'll show you real quick what this looks like. So I don't think Halloween settings, we have a whole Halloween settings. So if this is true, this is a global variable that gets enabled. This was just a slap on to the app just to make sure I can ship the app yesterday and have it enabled and then disable it today if I didn't want it enabled. So yeah, that's what's up. I like this drop down with all modes. I think this is a really good idea, Mike. That's really great. Hey, Vlad, thank you so much. I also appreciate everyone who reposts on X. You guys are really, really awesome for doing this. Do you use Droid and then code review with Cursor? Yes. Yeah, that's basically what I do. I use Cursor to kind of fly through the files and do a code review. I just build something and stop. Okay. Bro, I think you need to chill out right now. If you know that the vibes of these streams is that I kind of hang out with y'all and we code together. And what I do afterwards, I've just hired an editing team. So they're going to take this live stream and cut it apart. So, Craig, I really appreciate the excitement and you want to see some stuff being built right now. And if you want to do that, you may want to be tuning in a little bit later. I'm going to have a video posted probably later this week. And this will just be a cut up version. It'll be a speed run of this entire live stream. So this live stream will go on for a couple of hours and we're just going to hang out. The whole point of it is us kind of hanging out. So yeah, I get the excitement. I really appreciate it. So yeah, to that on forward and just kind of telling you what I think as well. So all right, cool. This has to be pre-recorded. No, man, this is live, bro. I'm actually dropping your comments in live right now, bro. It's so funny. Yeah, I missed this live stream. Oh, no. Oh, yesterday's live stream? Okay. So let's see what's happening. I find that lots of people find lots of value in my live streams when I actually talk about architecture and reasoning and kind of my thinking for things. That was a lot of feedback I got from people who watched my live stream saying that I really like the way that you explain it. So the edited, I feel like there's different audience here. So there's people who would like to benefit from the way of thinking. There's other people who would like the faster implementations and whatever. And we have a little bit of everything for everyone. So I'm thankful for everyone who's been able to really support the channel. Y'all are real ones because y'all have been sticking with me from the very beginning, which I really appreciate there. So we had to take a look at the architecture of the app. Now let's see what's happening here. So we basically, because I wanted to review the plan here and I got thrown off a little bit. So let's see. Okay, so we have a huge refactor. Nice. Okay. Wow. What I should have done is I should have cleared, I'm going to probably Command K and clear the previous thing once we move forward here. Okay, so the current architecture is this. The admin enables the toggles globally. And then the key components. Okay. And then, okay, Christmas. Oh yeah, here's the theme ID. Here's the names. So this is going to now create a theme catalog. Oh, I love this. So this theme catalog is going to contain everything, including the prompt. And then this is going to be a great way. So I'll have a whole table that's going to be dealing with all the theme packs that I want to launch. So that way I can launch a whole bunch of them at the same time. And this will just be all driven on the back end with Convex. And then we have an images thing. So replace Halloween mode with theme ID. So that way the users will just have one table that's just going to say the theme ID, and then we'll see, what specific themes are there. So that'd be really cool. And then modified users. So we're going to replace the Halloween enabled with active theme. I like this a lot. So we're going to have a migration strategy as well, because we already have existing stuff live. So we're going to make sure we backfill the theme ID. So what I want to go ahead and do is see if I can generate some images really quickly so I can test this migration. So in here, I'm just going to go to localhost and spin up my app before we begin any work here. So bonx, convex dev, and then bon dev. Because I don't know, I may have some other accounts too that I logged in with. I was just trying to see. Okay, analyzing source code, running TypeScript. Cool. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Whoa. Oh, okay. All right. Do I have this? I have this. I'm going to put this over here. Okay. So now I'm just going to drop a photo real quick just for it to be processed. So I want to have a couple of stuff in the database so that we can kind of play around with it. And that way we can do this here. Are you using the factor CLI or product Droid for spec? I mean, there's a specialized here. So I'm using the CLI. So the command line interface, I just open up a new terminal window, and that's kind of what I have running here. And I hit Shift Tab. Bro, this is so crazy. Okay. I'm going to also drop Halloween mode on them too. So Halloween mode image, do the same one. And then I'm going to also do one for this one. So that way I have a couple of images to migrate. And then, because the worst that happens is I go and remove a bunch of images. This is still an alpha. So this is pretty awesome. Oh my God, this is too much. Okay, I'm going to undo this. I'm just going to keep dropping images in. Cool. I'm also going to increase the number of images that I can produce because I'm only down to 2 now. I'm going to do 100 credits. That way I have 100 credits in here. Okay, cool. Awesome. Convex TypeScript mainly, yes. You use built-in terminal, not Ghostly? Yeah, built-in terminal is just, that's all I need, man. Just the OG. Yo, Starwinds, what's going on, man? Yo, happy birthday. Starwinds is my buddy here. We grew up, we're friends all the way back from early elementary school era, and we're now both in Hawaii. Hi, new here. Is that vibe coded? Yes, completely vibe coded. So if you just go to animeleak.com, the whole thing is vibe coded. So we basically coded up the entire thing from scratch using, we forked the repo actually. So we forked a repo from Ross Mike, and he had a thing that just generated images using Nano Banana with the Convex stuff already set up. But there was no gallery view. There was no homepage. There was no login. There was no payments. So that's what we ended up adding. So we did all of that stuff. We did this cool design things and all live on stream, mobile friendly and responsive as well. All vibe coded. So yeah, you can basically, you have the gallery. We also did an exploration of using Next Image and figuring out which provider would be best for hosting our images, because Convex would actually have a cold start, which killed a lot of my loading time. So as soon as we tried to load the images, it would just take forever sometimes. And it was, as soon as it was cached, it was okay. But then as soon as the cache was invalidated on the edge, it was just a lot of mess. So I ended up just going off with Vercel and using Vercel for the blob storage, and then also Next Image with my app. So that way we have all the optimizations. And then in the live stream, previous live stream, we also figured out that Next.js has optimizations so that you can specify what quality you want. So I can set 2 quality values, like a low value and a medium or high value. And that way I can only have my processing done with those 2 values, and no other values will basically be processed. And it saves me money as well, but it also makes everything super, super snappy and fast. So that's kind of one of the advantages of why we went with that. And yeah, all vibes. I mean, you could say it's vibe, but it's basically orchestrated by me. So yeah, that's kind of the things of what I do here. So, all right, let's go down. I'm going to catch up a little bit here. All right, so let's see. We have a really good plan. I really like the plan so far. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just continue to finish the review here before I get a little more distracted. So we have the migration strategy. I've now pre-filled some existing stuff so that we can test this migration. And then I have a new API design. So the front end queries will look like this. We're going to replace these ones. And then now we're just going to get the theme preference. And then we're going to replace Halloween preference with these. And then the backend changes are just going to have this script here. So we're going to replace Halloween with the theme ID now. And then we're going to have lookup prompt from the themes table. So then we're going to get so whenever we're going to do a prompt, we're going to run this internal action. And this is going to grab this actual prompt for the specified theme. And then if there's no theme that's selected, we're going to fall back to the standard prompt, which is great. And then here's the UI changes. There's a component evolution. So replace the Halloween toggle with a theme selector. Nice. And then render as drop-down pills, and then shows the name. Okay, admin dashboard. This is a really nice comprehensive spec in Droid that we just generated following my code here. And here's the 8-bit prompt example. This is awesome. Analyze the photo. Oh, NES era. This is cool. Hard edges, no anti-aliasing. This is hot. Okay, so the implementation is now split into phases. Let's go. Existing Halloween mode equals true. Oh my God. And now it's actually looking for my approval. So current state, Halloween is hard coded. Okay, this is the whole thing. Okay, so now it says, do we want to go ahead and proceed? What I'm going to go ahead and do is going to say, no, keep iterating on the spec. I want to write this out to my documentation file. So I'll show you something real quick. So change from spec research only. I'm going to say hi. And I'm going to say, I want you, this plan looks great. Actually, I'm going to go one more iteration. So looks great. I'm using stacked diffs, act diffs with graphite, and they have an MCP and a command, a GT command that we can use for this. What I want you to do is look up more info on stacked diffs and help me and reorganize this plan in phases that will work well with stacked diffs. Okay. There we go. So now the purpose of this is so that we can land our changes, but like have them very, very isolated. And the isolation will work really well because this is somewhat of a big change. We're basically re-architecting the way that we're doing our prompting. And then there's existing images in the database for the users. So by the time like I land any changes, anything that will break prod, I want to either have a certain step where I do a migration or do something in the code to make sure that like it's backwards compatible. And I want to front load those to the beginning as soon as I land them, or maybe front load them to the very end. So whatever code that's dependent on anything that's going to land, it's not going to break existing users until like the next change actually lands. So the goal of this is just to kind of reorganize this architecture here. And I think the only thing that's going to break is if there's an existing value that the user's image is displaying something for Halloween. We want to make sure that that's actually already accounted for or pointing to the right value so that it doesn't freak out. So we need to probably update the schema first and make some of the stuff optional. And then once we deploy that, whenever anything's referencing that line, it will just not freak out on us. So that's kind of where we're at here. So here we are. This is the new approach now. So we're going to have checkout main. We're going to create all the messages and stuff. So where we're going to do this is do the prompt, the schema, and then we're going to have the theme functions, and then we're going to have the dual schema, generate dual mode, and then user preferences, and then a front-end migration, and then the cleanup. So backfill themes and remove Halloween-specific code. Okay, that'll be done towards the end. All right, that's awesome. That's really nice. Okay, so here we are. This is great. So every PR is going to have this. Awesome. Each PR is independently verified. Sheesh. Okay, let's go. Okay, so... So the total apparently is going to say 6 to 7 hours of focused work. So yeah, that's what's up. Yo, big shout outs to Scott Townsend with the super chat. Definitely appreciate that, man. He says, keep up the great work. You are the real MVP. I really appreciate it. I'm going to see, can I even reply back to your comments? Yeah, I think in chat. No, I appreciate the call out here. This is really, really great that we're kind of doing this type of thing here. Also, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, if you haven't tried Droid yet, they still have my coupon code live from like a month ago. And so if you haven't signed up yet, rfer.me/refactory. So this coupon will get you 40 million tokens to try. So if you haven't created an account yet, and click that link will take you to the sign up to go sign up and create a new account. That account will be loaded with 40 million tokens. If you have any problems, let me know, and I will reach out to the support team, and then we'll make sure you get taken care of. This is like, they sponsored my live stream a month ago. And whenever I do a sponsorship deal, I always try to say, like, it's not about me, it's about the community. So we need to make sure we can all code together. And they're like, all right, we can just give out 40 million tokens because if you sign up, you only get 10 million. And so that just allows you to play around. So ship some features with me. And this is going to be like, this is kind of why I like to do this stuff live, is because we can kind of sit down together and code and be in flow. So I always like to give back. So if you haven't had a chance to, definitely check it out. rfer.me/refactory. So that's my little link. If you're on YouTube, you can just click the link and that'll be easier for you to follow there. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of keep going here. So now that I have this down, I'm going to go ahead and say one more thing that I want to do is I want to write this into my documentation, and I'm going to do that type of thing. The plan looks great. The plan looks great, but before you proceed with the plan, please write it out to at documentation and follow the guidelines for that folder. When you are working, we want to make sure we get the stacked diffs configured using GT. And we want to stop at each part of the stack to do testing and fix bugs before proceeding to the next step. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick is just make sure I'm kind of done with this, kill my different servers, and then git tower. I use git tower to manage things. I had a previous stack that I was working on. I might just throw this away because it was just adding like multiple uploads. And since then I've refactored the app several times and I don't feel like, I'm just going to delete this. Delete. Okay, so delete track branch as well. Yes, cannot delete, contains unmerged. Yes, I want to delete them all. And so that way my repo is kind of clean. Yeah, this is a pretty fat deletion. Let's go ahead and delete these two. Delete track branch. Yes. Yeah, so I had a whole bunch of stuff. As you can kind of see, massive amounts of deletions. So delete. Yeah, I'm going to force these two. Delete track branch. So yeah, I think this is kind of why I should just ship features fast and just rewrite them later. Because for me, a couple of days of waiting, I'll have like moved on so quickly. And sometimes I'm just re-architecting the app, but that's just what happens with the V1. Git Tower is one of my favorite visual ones because, I mean, this has been around forever, but for the Mac, it's really beautiful. They have different versions. They don't have, I think they actually may have a PC version now. But I like this way of working in Git Tower. I sometimes, because I need my visual stuff, and this is the way it works. Okay, so now cannot delete the branch. Why? Okay, now we're good. Okay, cool. So my main is currently set up. We're currently clean. I have the documentation cleaned up here, and then I'm going to go ahead and execute on this plan. So now this is plan rejected. We're going to go ahead and begin with this. So I have switched out of spec mode now. I have my spec is still listed up above. And what I'm telling it now is that I'm basically going to go ahead and proceed with the plan, but make sure I write it out to my documentation. I'm going to hit enter. And so we're going to be using stacked diffs from Graphite. So Graphite is basically, if you don't know, it's a platform that not only did they do AI code reviews, but it's like your DevOps situation. If you're wanting to work in stacked diffs, this is something that I'm trying to learn myself, and I'm really trying to apply this. But one of my favorite things of using stacked diffs is the ability to break apart everything in different PRs, so that way I can review them independently. Because I can't tell you how many times I've just checked in a large feature and we're like, YOLO, bro, YOLO. So yeah, that's what's up. Big shout outs to another super chat. Thank you so much. First app is ready to publish to the live streams. Yo, man, dude, share the chat. I think if you're you may be in the Discord because you're a member and stuff. Let me know. I'm really happy to see what app you got there. So the extension and cursor is also really good. Yes, part of the reason why actually what I should have done is cleared out my terminal window, but for whatever reason, I like to have these really long running terminal windows so that way I can go back forever in time. But there's sort of a disadvantage. In Cursor, they cap that because of memory limits. So like you only have maybe 10,000 lines going back. So, and if you try to go back further, sometimes you won't have anything back. But in the real terminal window, you see I still even have my stuff available from the 70 million token session. So that's what's kind of funny. So that's what's up. This should ace browser automation with proper prompting. Yes. Looks like testing duties will be handed to ops teams, perhaps a new role, test strategist. I totally think that that's exactly what can happen. So the fact that the Droid is so good, you can also run the Droid headless. You can give it these commands, pop it into any type of environment, and just kind of give it a really specific spec. So what I'm doing by hand is something that you can hand off to an agent like Opus or Claude Sonnet 4.5 and have it try to download and try to learn about its things. So if you have like maybe Claude skills set up or something like that, that can kick off a Droid, right? So like you can use Claude code to kick off a Droid. Like the Droid itself scores higher on terminal bench than Claude Code's own thing. So Claude Code or even Codex using their own models, the Droid scores higher on terminal bench. Like that's insane, right? Even in like all these different scores. And what's crazy about that is like the way that they're doing context management, and that actually matters. So if you want to stay tuned, I just confirmed an interview with one of the guys who works on the Droid team. So he's going to be on tomorrow. And he actually used to work at Block and used to work, you know, with, I think on the Goose agent and stuff like that. He is amazingly crack. And I'm going to try to see if I can get some of that inside baseball and that sauce on like, what are they doing so that I can just go into flow and so forth. So this is going to be really fun. This thing's kind of cooking right here. I want to show you really quick this documentation workflow that I got. So what I'm doing in my documentation workflow and why I'm like having it write this type of thing. So let me just kind of clear this out of the way so you all can see this here on the side. So what's happening here is I'm going to show you the markdown version so that it's easier to read. So in my documentation workflow, I'm planning to make a video on this, and this will be live later on for those who are interested. And this directory basically contains how I like to organize my documentation. So I have a thing called features, and in my features, things are going to be active, completed, or planned. So whenever I'm planning features, what I end up doing here is I have the agent write out the technical spec and also give out some information about the progress tracking. So these two are really important. And this spec document is exactly what it's writing out right now in that really long detailed thing. And the reason why I started this was because of the limitation inside of Cursor. So Cursor, Claude Code, Codex, they have these context windows. As soon as you hit that 50% mark, usually around 100,000 tokens, then you have to start new chats in order for the agents to be more accurate. After that, you can kind of get variable outputs, and it gets pretty messy pretty fast. And I created this flow so that I would keep track of things, not only for the agents, but also for myself if I was coming back or doing any tasks that were done overnight. And so in here, this has a lot of information. This is something that I generated, and this is currently available to the people who are currently, subscribed to me, as far as like, I call it the 1337 membership. And these are people I sit down with one-on-one for like 5 days. It's an intensive like type of program, and we sit down like 30 minutes for 5 days in a row. We kind of go through this setup, and then, make sure your rules and all these different things are kind of going through. So that's something that I currently have set up, but that's kind of, I'll be kicking that back up in December. So stay tuned for more information about that if you want to kind of find out. I just went through my first rounds recently, and we've generated a lot of stuff. But I'll show you exactly how this documentation generates a plan. It looks pretty much similar to this type of template, but it basically breaks down in the spec file like what the feature name is going to be, the executive summary, architecture overview, implementation phases, and what we're going to do for these types of things. And I'm telling you, like, once I do that, it's pretty much, it's so super cracked here. So here it is creating that file for us right now. So what it did was research the toggle implementation. We're here, and now we're going to create the documentation. So this is what it's doing, is following the guidelines. And the other one that I want to give you, if you want to go check it out right now, is if you go to my GitHub, so github.com/RayFernando1337, in here, basically what ends up happening, I have a thing called LLM cursor rules. So I created this at the very beginning when I was coding with Claude Sonnet almost a year ago or a couple years ago. And the one that you want to check out is the one that says generate agents.md. So this markdown file is like the sauce. I recently, in my one-to-one sessions, I came up with this document because I did a bunch of research on how the agents.md files should be structured. And one of the key things are these core principles here. So it's called a just-in-time indexing. So you don't want to stuff the context window for these agent.md files to have lots of things in them. You basically want them to have like this little index, kind of like an encyclopedia, right? If you had an encyclopedia, you can't put that whole thing in your head. But if you want to look up something like a certain plant or a certain animal, you can know where to look up by going to the index first and then looking through the index and maybe scrolling through certain pages. Or if you want to go to animals, go to the animals section and then start scrolling to the animal section. Hey, guess what? The agents behave the same way. And so this is part of those principles that I researched, and then I had it included into these types of this specific prompt. And so this prompt will actually tell you how, like, this is better than the generate cursor rules that Cursor used to have that they took out because it was ineffective. And this is better than like telling, GPT-5 to, like, I think like Claude Code has an init rule, but it only generates one rule file. This will actually generate the agents file. And you're like, if you want to generate one for Claude, Claude has a different structure and a different way that it does rules than the agents files. And so they are really strict about instruction hierarchy. And then they also have these different principles for like modular sections and stuff, and then front loading context. So here's their structure. And then this is exactly what tells the agent what it needs to do for Claude specific rules and how to place them in different directory structures depending on what you're doing for your app. And so this will work for anything. So if you're using Claude Code, you can just pull up this rules file and say, I want you to go through my code base and generate the Claude MD files following these guidelines. And it's just going to spend a bunch of time and come back with some amazing stuff. And then after that, your models and everything for coding should just be smooth on the forward. This is part of the reason why like I love Droid so much, is because it's so good at understanding these little files in these right places at the right time. And it knows to grab it for that context for that specific thing. So I'll show you real quick. This is still generating this documentation for us. But for Convex, in Convex, there's this giant like 800 line rules file that I had to break apart because that's not what you want to give to the agent all the time. So what I ended up doing is kind of making it a little bit smaller. So I ran that command and you can kind of see it has like 400 lines, but it's only when it goes inside of this Convex folder. So when the agent is writing code for my backend, it now knows these specific rules for how to behave inside of Convex. And then when I'm working with UI components, one of my favorite things about here is because it knows I'm using Convex, you see at the very top, it says nearest agent guide to work inside of components. For project-wide conventions, see the root agents.md file. For Next.js app specifics, do these types of things. So when the agent is crawling and going to do a specific implementation for a task, it now knows that these are available in its context window, and it will go to those files if it needs to do some type of implementation that touches those specific work trees. And so here's the scope for this actual file, and you can see the conventions that we should be using for Convex, like type safety with Convex, critical, it calls it out, right? Integration with components and how you use queries and how queries should be used for, generating code in my app. Like all of this stuff is very important, and they're actually all in all these different places inside of my app folder, like so. So that's a probably like a pretty good secret. I have this available in the LLM cursor rules. Let me just drop this in the GitHub link so that y'all can get this right now in, actually, I'll do the generate agents.md. I'll take you exactly to this link. I'll put this in the chat right now. Yeah. I appreciate everyone. Y'all are on it right now. That's cool. Yeah. I actually just dropped the link for anyone. You can just click that link right there and that'll take you to the rules file just so you can kind of get up on it. So also big shout outs to Shrai Fremati Nyolo. He gifted 1 membership to someone. That's amazing. That's so cool. Y'all are real ones in this chat right now. And then someone received a membership by, okay, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Okay, but does Droid have Composer 1 speed? So the speed is not the same as Composer 1, and the model that I'm using is Sonnet 4.5. You can also use Codex, and we can use GPT-5 as well. And right now, this is, for me, part of the bigger reason why I switched is the code quality and the output for Cursor versus Droid. And we're basically just generated the documentation that I needed for this. Because for me, having documentation that I can read and follow up on later on is really important. So you can kind of see this is where we generated the plan. This is that multi-theme system. So this is now our big documentation file that we've written that is extremely detailed that the Droid can keep following from here on forward. It nearly damn wrote the whole freaking app in this whole thing. This is massive. Holy smokes. It has a lot of instructions. Wow. This is insane. Wow. It even talks about like the O log of n of 1. Oh God. This is insane. This is look at this step rollback. This is crazy detailed. We have a 2,000 line plan. This is so next steps is review the spec with the team, get approval, include PR1 in the 8-bit prompt, test and iterate the stack, launch 8-bit theme to beta users, collect feedback and iterate. I mean, I think it should have, it mapped all of the PRs with all the code that needs to change for every part of the stack. Damn, this is insane. Shit. Wow. Hold on. This is insane. Okay. That's crazy. Yo, everyone's gifting subs. Y'all, you're crazy, man. The gift system for YouTube is broken. Oh, no. Oh, man. This is really cool. Everyone's becoming members. I really appreciate that. Everyone, it's like someone is making it rain membership. Dude, Coriolis, thank you so much, man. That's so great. Oh, that's actually kind of insane. Like everyone's becoming members. I really appreciate that. This is like the whole stream's making it rain. Yo, give a big shout out, man. This is, everyone is just cooking in here. This is kind of giving me goosebumps. I'm not going to lie. This is, I'm having a moment. I really appreciate this. This has just been really fun to hang out. We're just getting started. This is so crazy. So, all right, let's keep going here. I'm going to keep showing you here stuff about the Droid. I see you canceled the file creation. The spec rules are quite large. Would you like me to split them into smaller, more focused sessions, or just essential parts, or more concise format for similar existing docs? I think, let's see. I think a concise format similar to the existing docs would be great. I think for this one, you can split the file. So I think they have a limit to writing the file. It looks like because it crossed over 2,000 lines, it stopped. So I think for this one, you can split the them into smaller focused sections because of how big the plan is. In the future, we may just do more concise formats. Yeah. I think we're just going to stick with this. Okay. Okay. Cool. Sweet. That's why it took so long, is because it was doing this whole thing here. So, okay. So while that's going there, yeah, we're doing it. Dude, I mean, I really appreciate this like membership. This is crazy. It says I want one. API just gave. Oh, you have an API. Oh my God, bro. That's insane. Do 5 more for the LOLs. It's like an Oprah show. You get a membership and you get a membership. I ain't a millionaire. LOL. Yo, Coriolis, man, Coriolis, you're the MVP of the chat, bro. Are you in my Discord? Let me know. Like, hit me up. If you have a socials or like on X or something, or some type of profile where I can email you, I'm going to take a look at your profile afterwards. I'm going to send you a DM and I'm going to hook you up for sure. I think you should be able to get in and do some stuff. So yeah. Wait. Yeah, I'm in Discord. Yeah. Ping me in the Discord, man. I want to hook you up. Like for sure. I really appreciate that. You've been like super duper nice. And you basically gifted 5, Lee Berry gifted 5 memberships too. This is crazy. Yeah. Everyone's kind of dropping the sauce. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you guys have been trying to get some cool stuff here. And for some other folks who have been kind of participating, I want to make sure I take care of you guys. So yeah. Okay. I got you on the Discord. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah. Oh man. Super chat. Let's go, man. See the men and friends. That's awesome. Oh, Lee Berry is me. Ah, okay. Bro, I forgot to put my message. Oh, what was your message? Okay. Multi-theme system create. Okay, cool. So I think what it did is it kind of cut our file down to like 400 lines, which is nice. Full prompt details in PR1 implementation guide. Okay, cool. So now we have, okay, Convex agents. This is great. Okay. And then, okay. And then what else is going on in here? So spec stack. Okay. So yeah, what it's doing now is basically separating that really large file and then putting them into smaller files right now. And then from there, we're going to go on forward. You know, what's amazing is like, this thing is just going, it's flying. It's just not giving a care in the world as far as context window. I'm pretty impressed right now. I'm going to install the update for Cursor because it's separate from the Droid because I currently have just a terminal window that's running right now. Okay. Y'all are playing right now in the chat. This is, yo, I mean, everyone, bro, the whole chat's about to roll through right now. This is so crazy. Yo, dude, you guys are just killing it right now with these subs. And everyone's like receiving memberships. Let's go. So Maxime got the whole thing. Everyone's like got the good vibes. Yo, this is awesome. Received a gift. This is actually really kind of insane. This is you started a trend. I think it's really cool, man. You totally started a trend. Of course, I don't get what I get. Oh, how many people are watching this stream? Let's see. I have no clue. Damn, we have 137 watching the stream right now on YouTube. This is massive. We got 423 on X, and then we got a couple people on Twitch. I don't know if you guys know, but like Twitch is low key dead. I just turn on the streaming because there's some people on there for sure. But YouTube is actually where it's at right now, if you know what I mean. Because like that's where all the subs are coming in right now. So I appreciate that. Yeah, that's so cool. Yo, what's going on, man? Person turquoise. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we're having the droid generate this mega plan. And what I had done previously is, for those who don't know, I have an app called AnimeLeak. And AnimeLeak will basically turn your photos into like some cool like anime style type of stuff. And what I'm trying to do next is to have the cursor agent. It's now actually re-architecting my entire app so that I can have like a thing like called the 8-bit system or any other themes in the future. Because I want to introduce Thanksgiving stuff. I want to introduce Christmas themes as well. And so with that, I need to have some type of system where I'm able to add like in a catalog. And that's kind of what I was doing earlier. I pretty much yapped in the entire spec. So in Droid, what we did is shift tab a couple times. You saw that purple spec mode. I kind of told it exactly what my requirements were. It went through, looked through my code base, and then generated an extremely detailed spec plan. And then from there, I said, hey, can you write this out into my documentation folder? And in my documentation folder is something that I currently have. I think it's private right now, but these rules files are something I have in here that describes how we should write the documentation. It got so crazy, like amazing, that it generated like a 2,000 line documentation for this entire feature. And I thought, well, like this is a little bit too big here. So in this folder for documentation, this kind of defines how it should kind of work here. And then for the README, this is exactly how like my documentation files are structured. And this kind of follows some of the principles for how I want agents to kind of look at my documentation, understand where they're at, what progress they're doing. So I'll show you something that's been completed. For example, one of the things that we did was like a Vercel blob migration. So this was this big spec file that was created. It was a massive spec file. And then from there, this is kind of what the like actual migration looked like. So we did all this stuff here, and then we even covered the cost and everything. And so having a document like this actually helped me understand why I should choose Vercel blob over Convex storage cost-wise, because I would have been paying $70 instead of $1.58. And then the other things too that we were looking at were like the architecture overview. So what happens when the current architecture, and then what we do for the new architecture, and then how we actually handle like the blob storage and then displaying that to the user. So like all of that detail really helped me kind of nail down a really great implementation. Like these details are super important, and planning is important. And it's part of the reason why I love using the Droid, because it's look at this is a massive plan. That was a massive plan too. But it ships. It ships. You know, does it ship? Yeah, heck yeah, it ships. Yeah. Do you ship? Heck yeah, you ship. Does it ship? Yeah. Okay. So what are we pending on? Invoking tools. I think what happened is maybe the file got too big. All right. I'm hoping. Okay, cool. So dude, you guys are going crazy. Lee Berry gifted another one. Let's go. Why Droid and not Cursor 2.0? So let me explain this a little bit. Okay. I had an entire session earlier where, so the reason why Droid and why not Cursor 2.0 is context window. So context window with Cursor, with Claude Code, with any of these types of agents, as soon as they get around 50%, they start to introduce context rot. And with the latest thing with Cursor, it's still really nice. I like the way the code generates. I like the interface. I like planning. But I still have the same problem as soon as the agent starts to kind of do some research and do some things and implementing my phases. Like right now, I'm doing a big re-architect. I would have to start a new chat and then start phase 1 and then start a new chat for phase 2, for 3, and whatnot. And typically, like for a big re-architect like this, I'm going to consume more than 100,000 tokens right out the get-go, just from the planning, from asking these questions. So with Droid, I can just have one session, hundreds and hundreds of conversations, and it can just keep going. And with the Droid, basically what it's doing is it's managing the context and trying to understand what you're doing right now, what files you need. And what it'll also do is actively cache other files so that they're available later on. And whenever it needs to load them into the context window, they're cached. They won't cost you extra tokens. Or I mean, there's like a general thing that they're doing behind the scenes that I don't have to explicitly tell it to say, okay, clear the window or write this out to a file. Let me go ahead and continue into new chat. Let's go ahead and keep working on this. Because whenever you're building software, you're always planning first, doing a lot of research, and then you're in the building phase. When you're building, you're basically writing code, testing the code, iterating on that. And once it's ready to go, move on to the next small change, next small change, and so forth. And that repeated process, you have to create like tens of windows, tens of different chats just to achieve, one big feature to land. Especially with something like a re-architecture plan like this, where it's currently going through and doing quite a bit of stuff. So that's the primary reason. And so what I ended up finding out last night after I shipped that Halloween feature was that there was a lot of shortcuts taken and it did not follow the agents.md files that I have set up in my repo. So these agent.md files are really explicitly good, and they tell the models to follow these specific conventions when implementing with Convex. And it skipped that and just preferred to its default training set. And it could be a bug in Cursor's 2.0's latest agent feature, or it could just be the way that it works. But I found that it was really inconsistent. So when I switched over to Droid last night, 7 million tokens later, I fixed all the slop and it ended up working, which was really nice. And I was like, well, this is the reason why I liked using Droid. But I wanted to give Cursor a fair try. And I have been trying Cursor 2.0 for the last couple of weeks. And it's like really blown away by the planning features and blown away by all the different stuff. And it's still a great interface. But for me, the extra headache of trying to maintain the context window was kind of a pain in the butt, really. And I feel like, it's part of the reason why I'm kind of coming back to the Droid stuff here. So here we are. Now we're introducing the stack structure here. So we have a couple different files that it's creating. It's creating like a stack for us. So this is going to be the stacked diffs, and this is how it's kind of breaking apart the plan for us. And then this is like the progress file. So these progress files are going to keep the agent in line for how it's going to follow and update the files as we end up doing our plan. So this is a big re-architecture, by the way. So we're basically having live data that's currently live with our users. We're going to basically change some of the parameters underneath it and try not to break production. And then we've reorganized our plan so that we can ship these in different phases. So there's 8 different phases or smaller PRs that we're going to land. And each of these PRs kind of depend on each other. So that's what the stack diff does. And it basically mitigates our risk so that we don't have to worry about, landing some changes. It's going to break production until we land the next change and so forth. So in here, we're already seeing what this is already going to start to look like. It's a pretty massive change as far as number of things that have to be touched, from the back end to the front end to prompts to components and stuff like that. And if we were to just tell the agent to go, it can write a lot of code, but then we'll overlook a lot of details. And for me, it's just easier to break things apart and then focus on a specific theme. If there was a problem with the theme toggle selector or with the theme API or any type of cleanup jobs, we can spend a lot of time in these areas and kind of focus on those PRs and making sure that they're really solid before we really submit to the main branch and merge everything back in. So this type of breakdown is extremely helpful, not only for me, but also for the agents that will be doing the work on these files. So this is kind of why I prompted this way. And this is why it generates this really nice plan. These are really massive phases, by the way. And this is something that you can do in the future if you want to make, big pieces, a lot of changes to big pieces of software. So here we are, we're pretty much ready to go. We're just going to go ahead and now proceed with the implementation. So I just want to make sure our repo set up. All right, fam. Before we go, I want to give a shout out because holy smokes, there's some more gifting of the memberships. Y'all are crazy right now. So not only that, oh my goodness. I was watching the video with Cursor 2.0. You have access to premium content. Does he have premium content? Yes, I do have premium content. So the premium content I have is setting up the MCP servers. So 2 of my favorite ones called MCP. One of them is called ref.tools and the other one's called exa code. You'll see me using them here in the future. and in these live streams. So I have an hour-long video. I have an editor that's going to edit that down, but you get a first access to that premium content, along with a bunch of other stuff who just got this as well. Supports Ray as far as I know. It does support me. I really appreciate that. Yes, member-only videos. Good to know. So open code. I tend to use whatever Ray does. Oh my God. Romy just gifted 10 memberships, bro. He's like making it rain. This is insane right now, bro. I want to give a shout out, dude. You guys started a whole freaking mission. Oh man, I've been coding since ChatGPT. Same here, bro. It's amazing. Hamburger and fries, dude. Everyone's been getting a membership. If you haven't pulled up right now, if you're currently watching on X, if you're currently watching on Discord, if you're currently watching anywhere else, you need to pull up to YouTube right now. These folks are making it rain memberships right now. That's what's crazy. Sheesh. If you could answer my question, hey, can you put it again, Romy? Because I got lost. Oh no, you don't have to get paid Discord. We'll have to get you the funds to get you the content. Okay. Just ask me the question again. I'll see if I can pull it up here, Romy, because I want to see if I can find it for you. Let's see, Romy. ROMA. Okay. So Romy says, I wanted your thoughts as an ex-Apple, why you decide to vibe code more than actual code. I do the same, but I wanted to see your thoughts on it. So let me answer this for you because you've definitely have gifted some sub and I really appreciate that. So the reason why I'm like appearing to vibe code is like, first of all, I think vibe code as a name is actually kind of not really the right. It's again misconstruing what Andrei Karpathy originally kind of intended. So he sort of was making fun of this concept of just kind of going with the wind, and he was watching a lot of people around him, you know, like do this type of iteration. What I see in these language models when you spend some time in them, especially as an engineer, is this intelligence that's actually hidden behind all of the weights and stuff like that. So when I was writing my own versions of the tokenizer using like Apple MLX and kind of really trying to understand how these little pieces come together, you start to understand how these language models and weights start to form these concepts about the world in the mathematical terms. And what that means is basically the only way to get that information out of it is that they have to do this like, you know, reinforcement training and learning to try to focus the energy to get the stuff out of the weights to produce something that's interesting or coherent. And in the first phase of things, just like you, some other people were copying and pasting from the ChatGPT era. What I noticed for me is like, wait, these models have a lot more behind them. And the only way that you can get information out of them is if you start prompting them and saying the right things. And what I accidentally discovered almost a couple years ago is that I was copying and pasting my prompts from Notion. And I noticed whenever I put my markdown prompts, whenever I copy and pasted, it would paste markdown into the actual ChatGPT stuff. And I noticed it would always follow my instructions, where other people just wrote paragraphs and never followed their instructions. And that was like my big discovery of like, I can control what these models output if I actually am very explicit and I give it these, you know, markdown types of instructions. The first app I created was called Truth Torch. And that was like coded by hand, trying to learn Next.js and web development. And when, you know, coming up to these different roadblocks and things. And I think that was even before I started using ChatGPT. And when I started to discover these prompting techniques, I'm like, I can learn a lot more about how these models work if I try to turn into an engineer to try to like see what inputs and outputs I can get. And that curiosity has just never left me. And I have this like itching thing to keep trying the latest models, the latest prompting techniques to see who's really good at managing the context and so forth. And these little details matter for people who are working like really at the ground level with these models, because the intelligence is available, but they have to do these engineering techniques to wrap these tools around them to make it output something that's actually repeatable and reliable. And you can already see that the future is here in terms of like future breakthroughs for memory and these things. So I get to learn more about these really complex systems by doing this like vibe coding in essence. Or I just basically, I would say I'm an orchestrator. I orchestrate software to be created using an intelligence model. And so when you give a model intelligence, you have to guide it just like you do any human being. And it's been an interesting journey here. I mean, this is a really long tripod, but I want to, like, I don't think I've really conveyed this message publicly and kind of why I do this. I still code, by the way, like offline. I actually, you know, I'm writing Swift. I'm like playing around with other things. I'm like, you know, learning other languages because I'm just really curious, and that's what I do. But I only have so much time. And for me, when I play with these apps live, it's almost a challenge for me. Can I figure out what instructions can I pass to these models to make it do more automated work repeatably and reliably? And I don't see many people like going down this rabbit hole as much as me. The other people I see that are doing this really like a lot is like Eric Provencher of Repo Prompt. And then my buddy Gosu Coder, Adam, we have a podcast called Rate Limited Podcast. And so we're like, basically we call ourselves practitioners, and we use these models to basically output code. And there is actually an art form to doing this that doesn't really have a name to it yet. I call it cooking. I'm literally cooking with these models because there's no deterministic way. You can't just say in a calculator 2 + 2 is 4. You have to understand a little bit more about the underlying mechanism for these models. And once you see all the stuff that I'm outputting, right? It's kind of crazy, right? Like the level of detail that we're getting in my specs, I don't think people are getting in their day-to-day prompting. The level of detail I get in like writing documents and organizing in this type of way, I'm not using any tools. I'm literally prompting. I'm giving them text files, blobs of text in this structure, and it's behaving very differently. So this is what's actually happening underneath the hood with these things. And the vibe coding is sort of the expression of watching this come into play. And it's sort of cool that I can guide a model in a language that I'm vaguely familiar with, but I get to learn about how the language works through this intelligent system. So I'm treating it more like an intelligent system as a proxy of kind of back and forth. So I just wanted to kind of let you know, thank you so much for all the gifted subs. You've been hooking everyone up with the gifted memberships and stuff like that. And everyone who's been gifting some memberships, but I want to get that message out and let y'all know kind of where I'm coming from for when I'm doing this type of stuff. I do like to think through problems. I like to, if you can't explain to me how your architecture of your app works, you should probably work on that too, so that it becomes clear in your head what you're shipping. And I'll have some videos on that later on. I'm like teach people. Somebody taught me. I dropped out of school. I learned everything by doing. So this is kind of you're watching me doing this type of thing. So that's a little bit more of my background, and I'll head on to shipping some software. But I just wanted to kind of do that little break in the middle, kind of give that background. So definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate the subs and stuff you've been rolling through. So this is really cool. So without further ado, let's go ahead and ship some software. So let's go ahead and just proceed and allow all commands high. So this looks pretty good. I reviewed everything, and we're just going to let Droid do its cooking here that it needs to do. So this is, y'all are just can't stop right now, bro. You guys are on fire. Sheesh, bro. If you could answer my okay. I did not know you had to pay Discord. Would have just got through funds to pay you plus content. Oh, of course, yeah. Still not me. Yeah, cool. Yeah, man. This has been an insane. Yeah, Scott, Coriolis, y'all are some real ones right now for sure. Oh my goodness. Okay, amazing vibe in here. Dude, this vibe right now is insane. I can't believe this vibe. We got a whole bunch of folks. We're chilling in Hawaii. We got the whole vibes here too. Let's go. Yeah, man. Oh, making it rain. Yeah. Oh man, what's up, man? 8 months of membership on fire right now. Let's go. Sheesh. Yeah, making it rain for sure. 3 a.m. thoughts. Thanks for the reply. We'll get your Discord shortly. Watched your videos last 2 days and been super helpful. Part of my new rebuild. Yes, vibe coding is the wrong word. Yeah, I think vibe coding is not really the right word. I mean, this is really, I would say, prompt engineering. We're watching prompt engineering being applied to coding. Part of the reason why I like Droid so much is because you can tell that these people understand at the very lowest levels, like to do what they're doing in this single chat, to manage that, what I was explaining in the background, they know what prompts to give it. They know what context to give it. They don't just truncate stuff for a reason. They'll give it just enough for the model to perform what it needs to do. It's extremely impressive. I'm really, there's not a lot of things I get down with, and that's where I'm coming from, like in a very sincere spot. So I'm pretty excited that y'all are here with me right now. So just signed up for Droid, got the 30 days trial for sure. Yeah, rfer.me/refactory, and then you get that 40 million token thing. Yeah, this whole month is about to be vibe code. Yeah, this is crazy. So, okay, I've added the 8-bit prompt to let's verify it compiles completely. So it's going to do some verification steps. Okay, so running in interactive mode. Okay. Aborting submit because trunk branch is out of date, could not be updated. Okay, so what are we at? Let me sync first. Okay, so it's running the graphite command, and here we are. Okay, so here's the theme system that we added, and then, okay, so now we're working in this branch. Cool. Sweet. So yeah, now we're actually using the GT commands. Let's see. Okay, so the branch is ahead, switch to main, switch branch to this. Cool. Awesome. So now it's running the graphite commands to keep things in sync. It's restacking the branches. And now it's creating the PRs. Let's go. We're cooking. So we're now in the first phase of our app. And this is a pretty big app. So I want to show you a little bit of the spec here. So with this spec, we have our progress file. This progress file is going to keep track of everything for us. And this is going to, we're basically at the prompts part. And the next thing we're going to do is a schema and add the themes table. And then from there, we're going to add the management for the functions. And then we're going to then do the theme ID thing. So that's the theme ID switch to change from Halloween to any theme I want in the future. And then we're going to do this next step and next step. So yeah, we have a little bit of ways to go, but this is just going all in one chat, by the way. This is really kind of cool. If it does come to a stopping point, I can do /cost and we'll get to see how long this session's been running for and how many tokens we've used so far. I would say it's used quite a bit because we already wrote one 2,000 line document and it pretty much wrote out all the code. So I'm sort of, you know, replicating the code here. So we'll see. Yeah. Do you have a video on how to maximize AI's capability for coding, like set up the rules that you should follow? This is a video that I have, I'm going to record this coming week. I wanted to wait until all these releases have come out the door because so much has changed. And there are certain things I keep going back to, like the documentation workflow that I just dropped, the like agents.md generation file for generating in Claude or in Codex and these other things. So I have that as well. And so I think I'm going to drop it in different series. So you'll see like the first bit, the second bit, the third bit. That way people can pick up what they need and instead of just having like one big video. So that's what's up. Disable MCPs consume less tokens. So there are like not all MCPs are the same. In general, most MCPs tend to use up a lot of tokens. I agree with you on that. The only two MCPs that I really get down with right now are ref.tools and exa AI. So ref.tools is extremely token efficient because the MCP calls another server. That server basically does all this indexing work ahead of time and does searches on your behalf. So it doesn't eat up any of your token or context window, and then it brings back the exact result you need. So I've had many conversations using ref.tools, and it's maybe used up 1,000 tokens maybe for my session. And it's brought back extremely relevant documentation for the tasks that I needed at the time. So Tailwind v4 migrations, Clerk implementations, a lot of the most recent documentation that you need is all in there. So that's been super helpful. And it's probably one of the ways that I would talk about it. So Cursor 2.0 is just as good. I much prefer the output from Droid because this is what I'm working with right now. Like I keep going back to it. I think the other thing is like, once you go Droid, it's almost hard to go back, you know, like you try, but no one stays as consistent like this. And so stay tuned tomorrow because I'm going to have an interview with one of the guys who works on that team. And I want to ask him like, what is behind this sauce? Like, how are you guys able to do this? And then like, it's the best right now. And there's a reason why their terminal bench score is really high too. So I'm going through some software work, selection work, and the purple blue scheme is going the wrong. Okay. I noticed you're not using GPT-5 anymore. So check this out. The reason why is because Sonnet is the best coding model in the world right now, bro. Sheesh. No. It's actually really good if you use it inside of Droid or one of these types of agents because it's being steered correctly. It follows my agents.md files. The output is really good. I can ask the planning, Sonnet 4.5 for planning is phenomenal. Yesterday on the stream, I showed Cursor 2.0. We did a work tree and we split it out to Composer 1, Sonnet 4.5, and GPT-5 High. Of all the plans, Sonnet 4.5 won. It was just way detailed, pretty amazing. And when you throw that into a spec mode inside of Droid or in Cursor's plan mode, you're going to have an amazing plan. It's really, really good. In fact, I prefer the planning sometimes inside of Cursor because of the extra questions that it asks me back about my plan. And that's something I really appreciate. I'm pretty sure I can get the same results if I tell the Droid to ask me questions about the plan to iterate, but it's really good. I mean, I unprompted it just right out the box. That fit pretty well. So that's what's up. I'll pay for one member of this live chat's Discord access if you can have some kind of raffle. Oh, that'd be cool. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. How do I do that in the chat right now? I want to figure that out. Let's do that for the next live stream because I think that'd be really cool. Coriolis, you're like super kind, man. I really, like, if you don't know, this guy has been making it rain in the chat like crazy. So make sure you give him a big clap or thumbs up. There's been like lots of memberships started from this guy right here, or this human being, and I appreciate the support. I mean, give lots of love. I mean, this community right now is just like on fire, and I want to figure something out for figuring, this whole gifting thing for the membership stuff like that, because that'd be really cool for someone to get started on the membership stuff. So. You know what, Coriolis, I think I have a coupon for 1 month free for my membership inside of my Discord. So let me see if I can look that up right now because, or if not, let me see if I can create one right now just for the stream. So that way you don't have to like come out of pocket right now. I'm just going to cover that. So polar.sh. So I think I have if I go to products and I go to discounts, I have one, and I think I call it, so you can get a free month for my Discord. Let me see, copy discount ID. So if I do this, I want to see if I can edit my coupon code. And so reoccurring options is 1. So discount, okay, cool. So I'll just say new discount, and I'll give away, so MVP. Okay, let's see. Coriolis, Korallis 1, MVP. Okay, so the code would be this. Okay, and this would be a 100% discount, and reoccurring would be once, and the product will be the Discord. Okay, cool. So for the Discord, we do okay. Create, and then we're going to go ahead and go to edit, and then let's see, restrictions can be maximum number of redemptions. What I'm going to do is create 10 of them. So I'm going to create 10 of them, and if you want if you're currently in the, I'll show you real quick. If you're currently in the rfer.me/Discord, if you go to the Polar checkout right now, if you go type in this code, because only 10 people will get access to my Discord thanks to Coriolis. So Coriolis, you're going to get the first, because of Coriolis, you're going to get your first month for free in my private Discord, which is normally, how much is it again? $14.99. And if you type in this code right now, thank you to Coriolis, so much for doing this. If you go in here, if the link is currently in the live stream, rfer.me/Discord, you get in here. If you type in this code right now, you're going to get it for free. Cook with me. Get 1 month for free. So you hit apply, and then your first month is going to be discounted thanks to Coriolis 1. So if you do that right now, I'll drop this code right now, Cook with me, into the actual coupon. You're going to get that first month for free. So you get that first month for free. You can kind of join the live community, kind of hang out, cook with us. Big shout outs to Coriolis and the folks who've been gifting all these memberships. Y'all have been so crazy. And I want to do that for y'all because I feel like people who are in this chat right now, y'all are cooking right now. You can sign up for free, cancel if you want afterwards or whatever you want to do, but you can kind of get in there and get in with the show. So go ahead and do that. There's only 10 of them. So that once they're gone, they're gone. And that'll get you that there. So if you hit subscribe, you'll be able to get in and here's some of the active channels and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what's up. So if you haven't had a chance, the link is currently available. Let me just go ahead and put the link in in case rfer.me/Discord, if you haven't had a chance to check that out. And so that'll get you there, and just type in that code, Cook with me. And so, yeah, this is not Patreon. Actually, this is just a Polar. I use Polar for payments, and Polar is like my favorite provider. They have a Discord connection, so it's just really easy to get that going. So that's what's up. So Is that refer link for Droid again? Oh, the Droid one is called refactory. So https://rpr.me/refactory. And so this is the one that you want to use for the 40 million tokens. Yeah. Let's go, fam. Okay, cool. So where are we at now? Okay, so what we did so far is we've gotten our code here. So add one, we added the themes table schema. So PR2 is complete and submitted. This is crazy. This is amazing. Let's take a look. And we're cooking. All right, let's see. So yeah, we have three different diffs that landed. So first was the prompt. This looks pretty good. Okay. And then the next one is add themes with indexes. So this is the themes table. So add the catalog for the Halloween. Looks good. Man, these comments are nice. Okay. And then the next one is add theme management at queues and mutations. So here we are. We have the generate command. We have the Halloween prompt. And we have the 8-bit prompts. This is nice. And then we have now a thing called themes in Convex. So this themes will then get a theme prompt. And then this will enable the themes. And this will get the admin themes. Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. And then Graphite's already saying is missing a field parameter, which will cause a runtime error. The Convex query API requires specifying which, okay, this is a really good one. So, oh, this is cool. I think I could just resolve in here. Resolve thread, apply. Oh, add to batch. So add the suggestion can be applied as a single commit. Oh. By creation time will display order. Okay, that's the fix. Oh, cool. I'm just going to put this back into the Droid. I think we're good. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think it may have fixed it though. Themes. Analyze. Okay. Truncated. So before moving to PR, we need to test thoroughly. Okay. This is critical because PR3 introduces the theme seeding functionality. Okay. So this is for changing the themes. And then let me just run a quick bun x convex dev. And let me just run a bun run build just to check everything here. So we're deploying our code. Okay, so its functions are ready. And then we're building. Everything should be built, hopefully. Okay, cool. Nice. All right. So I got this feedback from a PR. Can you look into it? And then feedback. And then /feedback. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just paste this thing in. So I wrap this into here. And then this is for which file is this? Convex themes. For at convex/themes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm running the app now. Bun dev. Okay. So why bun and not PNPM? So the reason why I do bun is because the package manager is rewritten from scratch. And so they've basically gone down to the very system call level and they've just rewritten everything. It's a task that no one has ever wanted to do because as soon as they start looking into try to make this faster, it's just a pain in the butt. Jared, who currently runs the bun project, thought that, you know, if someone should do it, I should do it. I'm just tired of this. Everyone just saying, I don't do this type of thing. So that's kicked off, I think, many years ago, 3-4 years ago. Rewrote the package manager and then did the same thing for the runtime for bun. And so instead of having node for the runtime, they have like a bun runtime now. And so like everything that they do is extremely fast in terms of how they manage memory, system calls, function calls, all these types of things. And what's amazing about it is it's also backwards compatible or compatible with Node. So if you have a Node environment, you do like bun run dev, you basically will run the Node environment underneath. but you're basically using bun to kind of kick off the things. And so for package management, for me, that's like the biggest gain, because when you're using npm to make packages, the node modules will get installed for that specific directory, and then you make another directory. You can literally have the same version of the same package. Now you have duplicate node modules, and those take up a lot of space on your system. And so with pnpm and with bun is that they'll get the same system package and kind of leave it there. And what they end up doing is they create a symlink, which goes to that folder. So that way you have like technically like an alias, and you don't have duplicate node modules sitting everywhere, even though you have the same package versions. So bun takes it a step further when you're doing like bun installs or bun upgrades, that they have, because they've rewritten everything from scratch, it's extremely fast to install packages and do everything like that. If you want to adapt the bun runtime environment, you can do that as well and do the specific bun functions, and which are easy to use. Vercel now supports them. Pretty much all these different providers now support them. Cloudflare, you can deploy bun apps, instead of like the node environment, and it's super fast. It's part of the reason why I like to do that. If you want to convert an existing app, you could just do bun install and it'll start to do that stuff. All you have to do is just remove your node modules if you want to, and then remove any lock files, and then just do a bun install and you're pretty much good to go. So that's how you convert the project over to bun. So I want to kind of give you that for sure. Do you think Graphite is worth trying though? It's mostly review files myself. So like one of the things I'm trying is called stack diffs, and that's what the Graphite UI does. That QR code below, by the way, still works if you want to sign up, and just use the code stack with Ray. And then you get 2 months for free. So you can try it out, and it's like that $40 a month. You'll basically get $80 worth of AI review credits too. So you can just start chatting with it and using the Sonnet models to fix code and do stuff. I like to kind of keep everything in the Droid. So that's kind of where I was at. Let's see, localhost 3000. So yeah, that's what's up. Because the cool kids use Bun. Bun is superior. What tools are there for PR reviews? AI Rabbit, Graphite, Codium, others. Yeah, I stuck with Graphite out of all of them, like because of, well, not because I interviewed the founder and they actually like sponsored the thing, but out of all of them, I found that like the folks at Graphite are crazy. They're crazy cracked. So one part of it is they have their own custom indexing, which is extremely fast. And then the second part of it is just the tooling and stuff that they use and their support for all these different companies in Silicon Valley. Shopify, like all the big guys, Vercel, and some of like all the people in Silicon Valley use Graphite specifically in their internal workflows. And a lot of them use these new stack diff stuff. And part of the reason is because of like that tooling that you would only have to build and hire a dev team to do internally just to support like checking in all these PRs. And this guy, like one of the guys who's a co-founder, used to work at Meta, and they had the whole tooling system. So basically they just reproduce some of that stuff, as part of an app. So that's kind of like the biggest reason why, but it's a really cool thing. I have an interview with them. You want to check it out. I think I did that like last week. I just want to make sure nothing regressed. So I just want to make sure I can still run it locally. I should still be able to see this generate. Okay. Upload server. Yes, it's kicking off now. I'm just making sure everything's still working after this first change, and we're good to go. So, let's see what tools are, okay. Yo, this is crazy. I still can't get over this sometimes. It's so fun. All right, so if I toggle this, it should technically fail, huh? We'll see. Okay. Let me try this again. I think it's this one. Yeah. Did I refresh this here? Whoops. Oh, I did do a post request. Did I? No, okay. Yeah, let me try this. Upload. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so far so good. It's respecting everything, and I didn't really break anything, which is nice. We'll take a look here. Yeah, we're pretty good. And I think what I wanted to do is tell it to make sure to update the progress file for the documentation to make sure we're okay. Okay. Let me just refresh. Oh, I think it just came back with the image here. Let's see. Okay. Awesome. That's actually really cool. Okay. Sweet. All right, this is working now. And okay, so what are we doing? Oh, I think it just kept going. Oh, I told it to fix a bug. So PR3 submitted before we needed PR2. And so you're absolutely right. Famous last words. The order call entirely simplest or okay. Okay, great catch. I removed the incorrect order ascending call and now we're manually sorting the display afterwards. Database ordering doesn't matter, so let's verify this compiles. Okay, so it basically made the fix for us and it says, would you like me to continue now? So let's just do a /cost and see where we're at right now. So far we've used 1.9 million tokens. And in this session, this is kind of the reason why I'm telling you, we've not had to create a new chat. We've how far are we in the stream right now? We are like an hour and 20 minutes in the stream and we've stuck to the same chat. The Droid is continuing to purge out certain things that we don't need, keep the most important stuff in, and then write the code and kind of work on our plan here. So we created this massive spec, this massive plan, wrote those out to documentations, and then we started to start to do the stacking stuff, reorganize the plan, inserted our first 3 PRs. They're in there. We didn't break anything. We've used about 1.9 million tokens so far. And look at all the caching that it's done. It's read through 4 million tokens of cache, right? So that's every file that's been read into the system and it keeps it available as cache. And we've not had to say /clear or anything like that. So this is currently pending and here's where we are with the progress. And so then now I'm gonna just tell it to, I did some testing and uploaded files with Halloween mode and not. And so far things work. I want you to also update the progress file in our documentation before we proceed with the next PR. Okay. So yeah, so this is basically, it's gotten to the point where this is possibly where the next changes could break things. And that's kind of why it's asking us to continue. So cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, Claude. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I wonder, is my connection choppy? I'm really curious. How are people having some of the things? Chop here too for a minute. Okay, I possibly have some stuff going on. Okay, so it's better to rebuild an app using Bun. Can you migrate? Yeah, all you do is just remove it and reinstall. It doesn't matter. I mean, for me, it's just the speed of things. So I started cooking with Droid recently. It's good. Yeah, I mean, you see, right? We've almost gotten 2 million tokens of output, and we didn't have to change chats once, right? We're still in the same spec. We're still in the same window. We're still rolling. And that's kind of the reason why, this is the biggest reason why I like using Droid. Everything's good from my side. Easy too. Yeah. I like Claude Code for PR review, but I edited the workflow to not launch automatically since it doesn't. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Is Droid's credit based? Yes. Droid's token based. So any tokens that you use, that's kind of what it is. So that's what it is. Yo, super chat. Damn. With no experience, where should I start? With no experience, where should you start? That's a really tough one. So, okay, there's a lot of different places that you can start in with, but some of the best places to probably start is just to make some user interfaces. My favorite place to start, it probably would be with V0 or something like that. So I find V0 to be super amazing. There's already templates and things that you can get started with as far as a platform. And then it's kind of the next step that you can do to connecting databases and things and so forth like that. So I would pick a starter template that you can start from and kind of see if you have a design or a vibe that you want to start with and kind of start building from there. So if you wanted to build this here we go, a parallax sticky footer landing, right? So just a landing page, this would probably be a really good place for you to start. You can just say open in V0 and you can start prompting and clicking away and start to create a landing page for yourself. For example, for your app. I should create this landing page for my rayfernando.ai. This is really cool. And you can start to experience some of the prompting techniques here. I think you get $20 in credits and so forth, but you can do cool stuff. I want to share with you a recent app that I've been working on because I have access to the X API. And this literally was just generated in a prompt. And my prompt was I wanted to have a 90s version of, or whatever the early era was, but for X. So whenever you're in AOL Instant Messenger, you can update your status and set yourself to away or online and so forth. But I wanted to have that for the X platform because on the X platform, it's just really hard to keep track of your friends and seeing what they're posting. They have this thing called like a buddy list. So you can have close friends that you can select. You can say, I want to be friends with them and LeBron James, maybe not Taylor Swift today. And then here's your like musician friends or whatever. And so you get to see their latest posts. So as soon as they post or if they're online, you'll actually be able to see them. And so this will turn X into a whole different experience where it's more focused on your buddy list and what they're doing. And you can see when they posted like, okay, this person was on 2 hours ago and this is what they posted. To me, this would be kind of like a fun, refreshing way. I just got access to the X API pay per use. So this is my prototype that I made in V0. I'll have a stream on this later on, how we take this and transform this using Droid, because this is going to be a crazy stream because the API has a lot of different functionality and I have $500 in credit to like really start going crazy with this. So I think we can do a lot with the X API because I could tap into the X environment. And I'm really excited to kind of go with that. But I don't want to kind of distract you further, but I wanted to make sure that I got to you as far as the super chat and make sure we could take care of that as well. So, okay, here we are. Okay, so now what we've done is we've gone through and updated the documentation for the system progress. So that's this guy right here. And so you can see now where we're at with this file and kind of what we've been doing. So in this thing, we basically, this is part of the reason why I keep these spec files around because I can see myself where we're at. We even have the PRs actually outlined here. This is so good. And then this is actually discusses what we fix as well. And so here we are, and this is kind of where we need to go. And these are currently in progress right now. And then here's our tasks that are up next. Cool, right? I don't need an extra MCP to manage this. This is all kind of done internally. This is just what the text. This is just literally text in a folder. So that's kind of how we're cooking with this here. So let me kind of do that here to the side and we're back over here. So now I'm just curious /cost. Yeah, 2.2 million. Okay, cool. Let's go. Okay, excellent. Progress tracker is updated and committed. I've added the 8-bit retro. Okay, so the next thing is the dual. This is a quick 15 minutes. Add dual schema fields. We'll add the new theme ID in the active theme fields while keeping the old Halloween fields. Shall I proceed with PR4? So this is so it doesn't break. Yes, please cook. Yeah, that's what's up. I host everything on a personal VPS. Dude, that's fire right there. You might need some NPM packages, but they don't play well with Bun. Yes, that's also true, by the way. Yeah, so depending on how you're doing with Bun, for the most part, it works, but there are some cases there where it doesn't. So VPS is so cool. I need to sleep so I can use this all day tomorrow. Hey man, Rami, thank you so much for the gift of subs. I really appreciate it. I think you're on the other side of the world. It's probably like 1:30 in the morning or probably noon or something like that. Really appreciate the big heads up for following here. Whisper Flow has been great for dictation, but it only solves half the efficiency problem when interacting with AI. Do you have any recommendations for text-to-speech tools for reading AI responses out loud? I don't at this time. I use Speechify myself for my dyslexia for reading stuff out loud, but I haven't for AI responses. I'm not really sure because it gets all over the place. It'll say hashtag XYZ and it's really, really annoying. I think we got an app. Yeah. Speechify is great, but does not have a desktop app for PC. Oh, yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Okay, good night. Yeah, good night, man. Veggie burger on that bun. Ray's gonna activate Skynet, bro. This is fire. Yeah. Start to use Droid referral code. Yeah, for sure. Big super chat again. Best place to start is YouTube. Dude, Coriolis, man, you're like the MVP right now. Learn by doing is the best approach for vibe coding. I agree with that. I've been making my own Claude Droid in the past couple weeks. The hardest part definitely is context management. What do you think Droid is doing differently with a cache system? So I'm glad that you're doing this because now you get to learn how these agents work underneath the hood, and it's crazy, right? I'm going to state tomorrow. I'm going to have an interview tomorrow. I think it's going to be 9 o'clock Pacific time. I'm going to nail that down real quick, and then I'll have it posted so that y'all can tune in. We're going to show up tomorrow. I'm going to ask them this question. And I'm going to say, what are you guys doing underneath the hood for this cache system? Because it's super cracked. I mean, Like, who does this? We're running for millions of tokens, and I haven't had to, I mean, this is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and I want to know. So this is what's up. Context engineering is the key, and taking the time preparing your initial prompt. That. Not only the initial prompt, even if you don't have any clarity on the prompt, this planning phase or spec phase is the important part to get that out of you, to get that clarity that you need. So always feel free to ask questions if it's not really clear for you in the planning phase. I've been using Droid, but sometimes I just hang out and you just need to press escape to ask to continue. Have you ever experienced that? I don't think so. Ray will build one. Hello from Australia. Hey, hello to my friends down under. I really appreciate you. I'm pretty close to you guys right now. I'm currently in Hawaii, so that's kind of fun. So I also appreciate everyone who hits the little like the thumbs up stuff, because that actually really helps with the algorithm. So we're just going to do this little dance while we wait for everything to go to, you know what we do. So I just got 14 days of Whisper for sure, man. Yeah. I think I have a referral link, rfr.me/the Whisper. Yeah, for sure. The OpenAI API. Okay, cool. Yeah. If you pop in, share referral codes, do what you got to do. Other people who needs one is my referral code if any gets one. Okay. My guess is the first major project is AI coding text-to-speech app that codes syntax and where to know how to skip the reading blocks. Okay. Oh, whoever gifted me, thank you. Hey, man, this chat on YouTube today has just been on fire, bro. It's been insane for how many people have been kind of showing up and like gifting subs. So I definitely appreciate that. Yo, Coriolis rolling through, bro. Lee Berry is like making it, bro's making it rain right now. So hard. Which OS are you using, man? Right now I'm using Mac OS. Yo, we got Tarhe got the sub. We got Diego who's got the sub. We got Mark as well. Memberships are better for algorithms. This is, oh, interesting. I didn't realize that, bro. Dude, Coriolis, man. I can't wait to chat with you. You're gonna get a one-on-one with me. We're gonna sit down and talk. I gotta share some sauce with you too. So Blizzard down, also got the chat. Dude, Coriolis is showing up, man. Real MVP style right here. If you aren't in the chat right now, if you're currently on X watching, y'all need to pop into the YouTube right now because this is where it's happening. Yeah, man. So everyone's got the little cool like fire emoji that's kind of blue right now. If you just got the membership, that's really, really cool. We're totally cooking. So far we got this here. So I have more fun watching YouTubers stream than Twitch, honestly. Bro, that's what we do right now. Oh, man. I'm also glad that you guys can code with me. I think that's probably the much more fun part is us kind of hanging out. Like, yeah, community for sure. Like us being a community together is so much fun. That's the reason why I turned this thing on, you know, just to hang out with y'all. It's so fire right now. So here we are. Let's try the force flag. So now we're already in here. So we have the dual schema and ready to move to PR5. Sheesh, bro, we are cooking. All right, so I'll show you what the stack diff looks like. So far we have this stack and it keeps going down and down and down, and we're here. And so here's the latest stuff that got checked in for the schema. And so we can see that we have the Halloween mode tracking, and then we have the active theme. So whatever is active will be here. And luckily this isn't like a breaking change. This is like optional, the theme ID and then the active theme. And so we're going to deprecate this one called Halloween enabled mode down below. It still has to be in there because if we turn this off right now, we're going to break everything in production, and we don't want to do that. The other thing is that I'm building with Vercel, and with Vercel, anything that's on a feature branch like I have currently on the side will build separately and won't break production. As soon as I merge the changes into the main branch, that's what's going to be on production, and that's what could break things. So part of the reason why I did the stack diff workflow is because I want to arrange everything so that I can just check the changes in, review them, and then push them into the main branch, like, you know, step by step. And that way we don't break anything that's in production. And so as soon as these changes land and we approve everything and we close out the stack, everything should just be shipping and pretty much good to go from here. So the other part of it is like the review process is really nice because now I have these singular changes to just review. So I'm just reviewing, you know, like this thing here, this is like the diffs file. Here's just like documentation. And then here's like the actual schema changes and stuff like that. So yeah, this is pretty cool. These are really easy to review, these little small incremental changes, which are nice. Okay, so ready to move to PR4. Okay, so here we created this diff, submit. Okay. Yes, please. This is where we make the backend to support the new theme ID system and the old Halloween mode system simultaneously. Yes, please proceed. Cool. This is awesome. This has been great, y'all. I mean, this stream has been insane, bro. Y'all have been just, oh my God, so cool. I'm gone from wanting to learn to program to actually building an app from all of your live streams, hoping the membership inspire others too, man. Oh, so you started, seriously, Coriolis? You actually started from like wanting to learn to program, and then now you've actually built your app just from the live streams? That's insane, bro. Holy smokes, man. That's amazing. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna take a look and see how many of the subscriptions that people have used up for the Discord. If you haven't had a chance to join the Discord, I'm gonna add 10 more if those first 10 got used up right now, because this is like super inspiring. Like, I mean, this gives me the chills, right? I have the chills right now. I can't. Oh, wow. Like, sometimes I forget, like, the impact you have, you know, just by showing up and doing something. And that's something like I really deeply appreciate, like you all hanging out with me and doing this stuff live with me. It gives me great joy that we're able to really cook live with this. It looks like the coupon Cook With Me has been used up 10 out of 10 times. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is edit this coupon so that we can have more people join into this chat right now. Let's see, how many people do we have right now in the actual... So we have 110 people that are currently watching on YouTube. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to restrictions. I'm going to change that maximum number of redemptions up to, guess what, 100. So everyone who joins in on the Discord, you'll get that month for free. So go ahead and start cooking with me right now, because this is about to be really crazy. All thanks to Coriolis, because Coriolis has just been a huge inspiration to just come on this chat and be super generous with their gifting. But on top of that, like to share this enthusiasm. And sometimes I forget the transformation people have gone through, because I'm not really like asking for people's like stuff, you know, like testimonials and stuff like that. I'm just so focused on building and making the software and sharing back with you as much as possible. This field moves super fast. So what I want you to do, I'm going to pop these two links in here. So https://rfer.me/discord. And so as soon as you go to the Discord right now, thanks to Coriolis, what you're going to go ahead and do is click this link. So you can say rfer.me/discord, and the coupon code that you want to use when you check out in Polar is going to be, the discount is called Cook With Me. So Cook With Me, I'm going to paste this into the chat in the comments as well. And then you're going to see this here. So you're going to, as soon as you go to that link for the Discord and stuff like that, you're going to want to put in this one that says Cook With Me. And so Cook With Me is going to, when you apply this coupon, is going to actually give you that first month for free. So you're going to get into the Discord. We're going to start chatting. And I got 100 of these because the impact has been so massive. And there's 100 of you that are currently watching on YouTube. And if you haven't had a chance to join the Discord, this is your chance to get in. Even just get in for the month, kind of hang out with us. I think that's going to be really cool. And it'd be really awesome to kind of have you join in and see kind of what's up. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. This is only really supported by like you guys, as far as like coming in here, dropping in the support, and wow, I'm inspired, and I'm really kind of thankful for this. This has just been a really amazing stream. So, okay, my bad. So I don't have my headphones on. Yo. Okay. Oh, is it too loud? My bad. I probably do like this. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate. Hey, thanks for the heads up on the audio trick. I get so excited. So I should move it back like this. Okay, got it. Cool. Got the memo. Thanks, man. You're so good. I used to, but the Discord's blocked in my country. Okay. Oh, you might have to do VPN for sure. Okay. All right. So here we are. Damn, bro, we are cooking. So link is here. So now we have the dual mode. So the theme ID generation. Okay, let me just review this quick PR. I just want to see what we're cooking with right now. Okay, pulling up. We're pulling up, fam. So what did we change here? We have to generate the new theme priority. We have the dual mode. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so we have the new one and we still have the deprecated one. So we're keeping the deprecated one along so that we don't basically break everything. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay. This looks good. This looks Great. Let's proceed. Cool. And then we're going to add the user theme preference APIs. And then this is going to be really cool. Or turn down the gain. Cool. Come closer. Oh. But I'm really interested in the community, but it's okay. I can work with YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Or turn down the gain. Okay. Yeah, I think this is okay. Let me know the sound check. Do you have samples of your detailed agents.md files? I may have some. The agents.md files that I have are, I have those prompts. So if you were taking a look earlier, if you go to my GitHub, I have that LLM cursor rules thing that I dropped earlier. LLM cursor rules. In here, this is the main repo where I have my prompts. The one that you're interested in to generate the agents is going to be this one. It's called generate agents.md. So that one, this is going to tell the agent to generate them in your actual thing. And so I'll show you what the main agent file looks like right now. So if I go to agents.md, so this is the root agent. This is the one in the root folder. And so this just basically breaks down the project, an overview for what the agent needs for the context window. This agent file will get loaded for every single conversation. So you want to keep this as light as possible, light enough so that it knows where to work from and what to do when it's doing specific conventions. And so this is like a couple hundred lines, which is perfect. It's not like thousands of lines. And this also talks about my stacked diffs strategy as well, which I like to use for stacked diffs. And here's an example stack and like best practices as well. And in Convex working with stacks. And this has just come over time that I've updated these things here. So here's the thing that I also talk about in my rules file, which is the nearest agents.md. So this is what I want to utilize to basically keep the context window really light. And so all of the details are going to be offloaded into those specific files. So anything dealing with the front end, anything dealing with those components. So if I do backend components right here, Convex agents, now when I punch into here, this is the Convex agents file. And you can see this has even more lines. So that's the details that you want. So when the agent starts to work in that folder, I want even more details to be loaded up. I don't want less because I want it to adhere to these rules that are very specific when working on that piece of code. So that's an example of that. And you can kind of see how these mappings are really important for the agent at the high level, especially if it gets loaded every time, to know where it's kind of trying to navigate. So that's a quick primer on that. Okay, so PR6 is now complete. So we have the user APIs. So now we should have the get user theme preference query and then the update user theme prep. So let me just kind of take a look at this stack again and go back and kind of take a look up here at the other one that got checked in. So the code is users. So we're now deprecated, get user theme preference instead, and will be removed in PR8. So get the user's theme preference combined with available themes. Okay, this looks pretty good. Users, that's it. Oh, that's it. Update user theme. Awesome. Dual right. Update both fields during migration period. Got it. I want to ask to see if there's anything from the admin side of things. So the next step is the front end migration. Okay, and then the back field cleanup. Okay, so I think I might do it after the next PR. Okay, this looks good. Proceed with the next one. Another one. Man, this stream has been wild, man. I can't believe it. Holy smokes. So we got 133 people on YouTube right now. We got 891 on X. Over 1,000 people. Let's go. We are cooking. Are you cooking, bro? We're not cooking, bro. The house is burnt down, bro. This is going insane, right? In tomorrow's Droid meeting, you can ask them if they plan to have a better sub as 200 million tokens or Sonnet forward don't last long. Yeah, so the Sonnet ones are 1.2x. So if you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so every 5 requests, you use an extra one. So you're technically using 6. Yeah, so then that makes your efficiency that much lower because then a fifth of 220. Yeah, all those requests. Listening from across the house and wondering, what is this degenerate agent must be doing? Bro, this agent's yeah, it's gonna be cool. So where are we at now? Cool. Yeah, everyone's kind of joining the community. Appreciate y'all popping in for that free month. That's so nice. Cool. So let's see. Halloween toggle, theme selector, use client. Great. Now let me update the main page. Okay, so the theme selector's here. And then we got the credits, the Convex way, store user preference in the database. Okay, not React state. This is exactly one of my agent rules, by the way. So this is another reason why I love Droid so much over Cursor. This is the big mistake that Cursor kept making, is that it would store the preferences as a React state on the app instead of storing it in Convex where it should be. And it understands this from the rules file. And as it's going into this directory, you're seeing the output that comes across here. Like I'm telling you how, like, okay, you save tokens because you're not having to rewrite your code all the time. You know, that's my biggest headache with Cursor is like, I've only used like less than half the context window and it would make these types of mistakes. And I have the agents.md files. And I'm like, why is it not following those? Because Cursor is supposed to follow them and it wouldn't always follow them. Then I had Cursor rules files and it wouldn't always follow those too. And here in Droid, it just follows them. We have been deep in this conversation. We've used over 2 million tokens in this conversation for this one session, and we're still going and it's still following my rules files. You see the power of Droid and having these rules files set for your repo, like it will continue to go for long sessions and like continue to stay on track. And if you give that to Sonnet 4.5, the model feels way smarter than it does when you're using it anywhere else, even inside of Claude Code. In Claude Code, it doesn't even follow its own Claude MD files all the time. In Droid, look at what it's doing. It's beautiful. It's ridiculous. Like this is amazing. Damn. This is beautiful. I'm like, it's like now I could just finally sit back and just chill, you know, like, because we're in flow. I mean, I feel like, but I could pay attention more to the live stream and kind of see what's going on with y'all. So theme management selection. Good. Now I find an update to handle the toggle Halloween function. Let me read that section. So now it's reading that section right now. And then it's going to update the handle stuff here. And so perfect. Let's verify everything compiles. It's doing the compilation step. And it's like, okay, let's pass this from the selected database, convert to null. And then let's verify again. Boom, checks all the changes into our stack diff. Bro, this is ridiculous. This is insane. Okay, here we are. Let's see. Let's kind of refresh. This is wild. This is too good. This is too good. Oh, let's check. I want to see the diff. I'm just curious. So now it's currently building right now. And so we added the theme selector. We're doing it the Convex way. Oh, let's go. So active theme. Oh, let's go. Is Halloween theme management admin themes now. So we're basically deprecating the hard-coded Halloween settings because this is something that I'm going to be doing going forward. So if you're just tuning in, kind of what's happening is that yesterday I turned on like this Halloween toggle for my images and stuff like that. But we wanted to get this out as fast as possible just to kind of see if I can build some buzz on my app. The right way to actually ship the feature is actually kind of think about it from an architectural perspective and say, I'm going to have November themes for Thanksgiving. I'm going to have Christmas themes. I'm going to have New Year's themes. I also want to have the NES themes as well. So not NES, but like 8-bit, like retro video game feel. And that's kind of where I'm kind of getting to here. So I wanted to re-architect my app so that way I don't have to write really sloppy code all the time and have all these hard-coded values everywhere for specific themes. I want to get rid of that. The right way to do it is kind of what we're doing now. And we started off Droid with this massive plan. So that massive plan has already been made, and we've make sure all the specs look really good. The second thing we did is introduce stacked diffs. And we're using stacked diffs along with Graphite. And what's nice about Graphite, the GT command you can use, to do that, and it does the restacking for you. And what that does is it separates our plan into these smaller concerns, so it's easier to review the sections by sections. And by the time we review everything and check everything into the PRs, each of those will be submitted in a specific order so it doesn't break anything in production. And that way you don't just kind of YOLO, just check everything in. And I'm just not going to really review the code. It sort of is a forcing function for us to make sure that we're seeing the agent at these different phases, check the code in, but then also add improvements if we need to for whatever reason. So at phase 7 now, we're currently here. And then it's now saying, this is the final PR. So in the one PR that we have left is going to create the migration scripts to backfill the existing data. and then run the migrations via the dashboard and remove deprecated fields from the schema. So what I want to go ahead and do is going to go ahead and do the slash cost, and let's just see how many tokens we've used so far. 4.3 million tokens. So for this whole session, for this giant feature that we've been shipping, we basically have re-architected the architecture. We're going in and adding in the new features. We're also going to remove the other stuff coming up. And we've used 4.3 million tokens. I mean, I've generated like a 2,000 line plan and some other stuff as well. You could probably use less if you weren't generating as much documentation as I am. But for me, I like to make sure that this stuff is there just to make sure that I understand what's going on. Obviously, I skimmed through it really fast for this live stream, but this is something that I'll be reviewing in a lot of detail after the stream, going kind of through the lines. I like to do these analysis. I like to try to learn from these things after the stream. But if you have more time, this is probably something worth looking into as well. Obviously, you can create your own versions of this, but this is kind of the way that I'm doing some prompting, and this is how I get the most out of these models. The entire time, we've not had to create a new chat at all, by the way. So that's what's crazy. The entire time, we've basically have just been coding like this. And like, it feels like you have a 4 million token context window or more. Like, I don't even think about it. It's all managed by the Droid, right? Just so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. All right, so here we are. I think we're good. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, everything compiles. Everything's still running. Let me just kind of rebuild the app here and then just reload it. Localhost. Okay. Okay. Cool. So, okay. So now that like toggle is gone, let me go to /admin. Cool. All right. So if I go to /admin, I'm seeing this crash. Not authorized. Oh, am I not authorized? Am I not? Okay. Let me just gonna send this bug to it. When I did a quick sanity check of the app, and when I navigate to, I get the following crash. Logs. Okay. So I give it those meta tags so that the model knows that, you know, here's my logs file basically, as a way of kind of delineate these things and what my requests are. So yeah, so the /admin route is crashing. And then what else do we have here? I want to make sure that like the buy credits thing still works. Okay, get credits. We haven't touched this code, so it should still work, but it's always good to test these out. Okay, cool. Nice. All right, cool. Sweet. Okay. This is an interesting bug. So if a user clicks, but then goes back, it keeps wanting them to go back. Localhost 3000. Okay, that's a really weird bug. Got it. I'm going to add that bug in too. So what is it saying now? I see the issue. The admin page is crashing because the get admin's theme query and other queries require admin authentication. The user is trying to access, but not in the admin's table. Existing issue. Okay. Oh, I'm not the admin. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let me see if I can change the admin thing here. Sign out. Cool. Let me, because I think I assumed that I was a certain user. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Cool. And if I go to /admin. Awesome. Cool. Here we are. Got it. Okay. So yeah, so I've already bootstrapped my admin thing. Okay. Gotcha. I was not the admin, logged into the admin account, and now that works. The other problem I think I wanted to talk about was, what was the other problem? I don't remember. Dang it. Okay, images. Okay, cool. So if I upload an image, I should be able to do this. Okay, So this should still create its thing. I'm just doing some testing to make sure that everything still works so far before we move into like the next phase of like actually deleting or cleaning up the database and stuff so that we don't have any regressions. Okay. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. Okay. So, okay. Once you're added as admin, okay. So let's see. Option 2. So the next step now we're going to go ahead and do is run the migrations via the dashboard. Okay. So this is the final PR where we create the migration scripts to backfill existing data, run migrations via the dashboard, and remove deprecated fields. Okay. Delete the old Halloween toggle component. Let's finish strong with the last PR. And okay, cool. So this is gonna be pretty big here. Are you on the max plan for factory as well? Yeah, I have like you have to pay $200 and then you have to then like pay per token or whatever all that stuff is. So there are several people, like somebody I was speaking with after like 6 days because they've been coding like crazy. You can see, I mean, so far, like yesterday I've used like 7 million tokens, and then this session is probably going to be another 7 million. So if you're thinking about coding, and I'm not even doing it full time, right? Like I'm not 8 hours a day, like with this type of thing, you can use quite a bit in just in one day. So FYI, this will cost you quite a bit to do that. So I also have, not only do I do this, I have Claude Code. I also have the ChatGPT Pro. I also have the Cursor Ultra. So I was just talking to someone today that I spread across all of my subscriptions. So right now I have 5 more days left in my Ultra plan for Cursor. And I still have I'm like right at $194 usage. And most of it has been with Sonnet 4.5. And theoretically, I get $400 of compute with Cursor. So I still would prefer to use Droid because of just how easy to use, and it keeps following my agent's rules files. The thing I really hate about what's happening with the other agents is like it write bad code, then you tell it to fix the same code that it just wrote. So you're wasting all this extra tokens anyways. It's less efficient because you're actually is not following your rules. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, well, this seems to be the most not only token efficient, but easier to kind of work with as far as an agent file. So that's where we're at here. And so what is it doing now? So it's going to create the migrations to do the backfills for the themes. So, okay, cool. So let me get some water here. So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to catch up on the comments a little bit. Droid is currently paid. There's a free trial if you want to check it out, refactor.me/refactory. That'll get you 40 million tokens to get started if you haven't created an account, and you can start kind of cooking there. But yeah, it's paid. They have a $200 plan, which will get you 20 million tokens. And you don't have to use the Sonnet model. You can use other models like GPT-5, and that'll cost you half as much. So you can get like 40 million. You can turn that 40 million tokens into 80 million. Or if you're paying $200, you can turn that 200 million into 400 million tokens if you're just using GPT-5 all the time, as an FYI. So yeah. Favorite MCP you prefer in terms of not consuming a lot of tokens? That's Exa and Ref. 1000%. And I have a couple of videos though. Join Discord, thanks. Did you answer if you can use Claude Code Max subscription with the free Droid plan? So there are people who have wired this up, but some people have started to get banned. Like their accounts got banned because they're like incorrectly using the API. And so that's kind of, if you ever start changing headers and doing stuff that's not supported, they probably will ban you. So just FYI. Yeah. So point the mic at your chest. There's still wild vocal fry. Okay, you'll get better bass and mids. So how you're too loud? Like this is better? I'm just curious. I want to learn the best positioning. Is it like lower? Is that like down here? Hello everyone. Actually, let me listen to this. I appreciate anyone who takes the time. I think like this maybe, yeah? Is this too far away? Does it pick up also my air conditioning? I'm really curious. Yo, we out here. We are out here. I think what I should do is kind of get this lowered maybe. Yeah, oops. Like that. Yo. All right. I think this is better, right? It sounds pretty good. Maybe like this. Further away? Or is this too far away? I'm just curious. Yeah. All right, let's kind of read here what's going on. Perfect. Let's remove the deprecated fields in the schema. It's done that. And then now we remove deprecated functions and remove the dual right logic. Okay. Okay. Nice. Holy smokes. Now let's remove deprecated admin functions. Let me check what's in main admin. Okay. Wow. Now let's remove the dual logic mode. So it's going through now cleaning up the code. That's super appreciated. Sweet. Also need to update the generated blob URL. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. What is this? Blob theme ID. Oh, that's right, because we are passing in now a theme ID instead of Halloween mode. Now let me delete the Halloween toggle component. Right. I need to fix several issues. Migration scripts need access to remove fields and need to use tsignore, right? Because they're migration scripts. And then the themes is trying to query Halloween settings, so need to remove that. And then removing the Halloween mode. Makes sense. These are migration scripts, that's why. Nice. Schema validation is failing because there are existing documents in the database with Halloween mode field. That's no longer in the schema. This is expected. We need to run the migration first before removing the schema fields. So the proper approach is first PRs the deprecated fields in the schema with comments saying that need to be removed. Run the migration scripts and productions via dashboard. Okay, so keep the deprecated fields in the schema and then run the migration scripts in the dashboard. Remove the deprecated fields in the schema after the migration completes. Let me revert the schema changes for now just to keep them marked as deprecated. Got it. Wow, this is going to be a really tricky PR stuff to land, but we're going to figure this out. So, okay. This is what happens when you have to refactor things, by the way. Like you're removing fields and then you're putting stuff back in. And so it becomes tricky. Like this is, I'm still surprised how coherent this agent is. It's so cool. Whoa. Okay, so we have this here. We have the stack. All right. All PRs complete. Multi-system migration is done. Great. So, all right. So we're going to, after merging all of the PRs, run migrations via the Convex dashboard. So we have to run migrations : this, and then migrations backfill user themes, and then verify migration. Verify success equals true in the verification output. Remove deprecated schema fields after the successful migration. Damn. We just finished the whole thing. Let's go. Okay. So what I want to do is all deprecated code is removed while maintaining backward compatibility. Oh, my bad. I had this thing on for a while, so I just want to make sure we're here. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to now I want you to create a small little document that outlines the steps that I need to do for production so that I can run these before or after my deployment. Okay, so there we go. Cool. What is your keyboard? The keyboard I have is something called the Knob One. So this Knob One keyboard is super, super beautiful. It's made of aluminum. And one of the things I really enjoy about it is the feel of the keys. It kind of bounces back to you really nicely. And I get that really fast feedback. I type way faster on this than I do with a normal Apple keyboard. I, for the longest time, could not get into certain mechanical keyboards because of certain feels. But this is one of the few keyboards I've actually gotten into, and I really like it a lot. And that's actually probably one of my favorite ones. So yeah, it's called the Knob One, KNOB1. I'm going to show you real quick. Knob One. Knob.design. Yeah, knob.design. This keyboard is just bliss. It feels amazing. It is amazing. It looks amazing. The price is crazy, but it's like the only keyboard I want to use now. And the way that these keys feel and slide on your fingers is it's like unlike anything else. So yeah, the price point is pretty high if you're trying to buy this thing. I don't know if they still sell it. Yeah, 439 USD. The best investment you can ever have for your fingers. I know, like if you're rolling with my channel, y'all gotta have some expensive taste. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, but this keyboard, the color and aesthetic is so fire. And then there's this little screen that I really don't use very much, but the feel of it's a mechanical keyboard, and when it flax back, it's so fast. It's just really beautiful. I find it extremely enjoyable to use, and I highly recommend it. Yeah. Just paste the error log. Okay. Bro, I'm currently in a 12-hour Droid session with Codex. Dude. Yeah, I don't know the latest update for Droid. You can go forever, it feels like, in this thing. Finally, you know, they had some issues early on, and I would go back and forth. But the latest version of this Droid has just been, I'm unstoppable. I feel like I don't have to re-explain myself, which is the biggest pain. This is the biggest reason why I'm wanting to switch back. Basically, it's better to use linear instead of stripe, right? I use polar, but I like stripe as well. So vibe coded at its peak. Should graceful error page, not an actual error. Oh yeah, for the admin thing. Ray, do you have any referral links for Droid where we should be downloaded from? Okay, so the referral links for Droid are fer.me/rayfactory. Let me see that. ps:/rfer.me/rayfactory. I'm a little behind in the comments, so I'm gonna make sure I get caught up for that real quick. So that's where you can get the 40 million tokens if you just gonna go ahead and download that right now on the links and stuff like that. So just FYI. And so let's see. Let me just kind of catch up with the rest of the comments. Link to Droid for referral. Yeah, so there's no promo code. As soon as you sign up, you get that 40 million tokens with that link. Let me know if you don't, and then I'll take care of you guys. I'll make sure to reach out to them because they're like a partner of the show. Link to Droid. Okay. I don't know what Droid will do for more than less than cursor warp. Okay. Are burning my credits fast. So I noticed this with other agents is that they do burn those credits pretty fast. I find that cursor is pretty token efficient too. And Droid is extremely really context management heavy, if you know what I mean. So they do a lot of caching as we see when we do /cost right now. I'll do /cost. I'll show you what it is. This entire session, 5.5 million tokens. We've cache read 16.8 million tokens. 16.8 million tokens are in the cache right now. And then we've created 1.9 in the cache creation. And so the output is 105,000 tokens. That's amazing. That's crazy as far as us not having to create new chats and do all this funny stuff. Because every time you create a new chat, then you have to read everything back in and nothing gets cached again, right? Because you're throwing away all that context. And so here, they're doing some magic behind the scenes. I have no clue what, but I'm definitely going to interview with them tomorrow. We're going to talk about that for sure. So that's what's up. Yo, Fireman Fix It 41913. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Really appreciate y'all joining in. This stream has been insanely cool. IDE is cool. Instead of removing the Halloween code, just have it disabled after October and then automatically re-enable. So Doom, I have to rewrite. I hacked together everything and the architecture was horrible. So I re-architected everything to actually have these themes. And part of the next feature set is going to be scheduling the themes to be enabled at certain times. So yeah, that's what's up. And this is kind of part of that whole re-architecture plan. So theoretically, we should have everything already done now. So well, let's see. We now have a production deployment guide. So in documentation, features active, multi-theme production deployment. Let's go ahead and read that right now. Active, multi-theme. So this is what we need to do when we deploy to production. So we have all APRs merged to main. We're going to back up. Oh, I got to back up my database. Okay, so one of the things I need to do with Convex, I'm going to show you how to do this right now. You should do this, and I forgot to turn this on. This is super important. So if you go into production, and then there is a setting, I think in your settings here somewhere, and then I think there's backup and restore. So in backup and restore, I forgot to enable backup automatically. Make sure you have this enabled for your databases because you don't want to lose any data. I'm about to do this massive migration. And if I do lose data, I want to be able to snap back to a certain point in time. So the next backup says in 12 hours, we're going to back that thing up right now. Back that thing up right now. And it expires in 7 days. So you don't have to write any scripts to remove them. All of this is built into Convex, by the way. For those who don't know, I am trying to actually work on a partnership with Convex because I love them so much. Everyone I talk about, I love so much. And it's taken me a long time to actually come around to use Convex. And when I finally started using it and really getting into the flow of things, it's how can I not use anything else? There are a lot of other people who are also in the Discord you'll get to chat with who use Convex, and they've also converted as well. And I think a lot of them have really enjoyed using it. They have a generous starting plan too, and I do find it really nice to use. And there's a lot of really other neat features that they do provide, but definitely suggest you check them out. And you can get started for free, which is amazing. You can even start a team for free. They're crazy generous with what they do. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We backed it up a minute ago. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're currently in here. Just want to make sure any users. Okay, there's been some users who have signed up. I'm going to take care of you guys and add some more tokens so you guys can play around with this thing. All right, so now I think we have I just want to make sure the documentation is set. So we have a deploy first, migrate after, which is recommended. So we're going to check out and deploy everything. And then the new theme system is live. The theme selector component shows in UI. Okay. And then the old data still works because it's backward compatible. So expected output is true. Seed initial themes. Okay. Run this via the Convex dashboard functions tab. Okay. So I think I may have to do something in dev. I want to make sure that things are working. So Command K, restart, bun X, Convex dev, and then bun dev. I'm just going to rebuild everything and just make sure that we're good to go before I push anything to prod. Just test the things. Okay, so here we are. Localhost. Okay. Okay, I have one image here, and then I do the next one. Okay, so what I want to do, let me just also read what's happening in Droid here. So this is the step-by-step implementation. This is the theme migration strategy in the root directory. So what changed? Okay, the migration script are Convex migration backfill themes and then README. Okay. Convex migration script. Where are you? Convex migration script, migrations, and then README. Okay, so the README shows over here. And where do you go? Oops, it's backfill. So here is what they're showing. So run these functions in order via the Convex dashboard. Function migrations, backfill themes, args, and this will migrate this, backfill the user themes, and then verify the migrations, and then it checks into the data integrity consistency. After migration, process that. If issues occur, roll back. So I think I should be able to run this now in dev and see if I can backfill the data between the old ones. So what I want to do now, this is still working currently. And what I want to do is go back into development here. And in my dev server, I should be able to do these exact steps since everything's technically already deployed. So if I go to images, I should already start seeing, okay, so this is what I want to do as well. In my development one, I'm also going to back up the database so that I can have a copy of this and snap back automatically. And if this migration fails, I could just roll back to the database and then I'll have everything back to where it was. That way I don't have to freak out and say, oops, I lost all this data. Losing data sucks. So yeah, that's super important to back up. So function is migrates, and I just don't, okay, so if I just do backfill images, how do I run this migration in Convex? Is it just as simple as going to functions and then going to this, backfill? Let's see, backfill themes. Okay, here we go. Backfill. So what is the function we run? So backfill image themes. Backfill image themes. Okay. Run function. Let me go ahead and just run this. Cool. So migrated 18. It skipped 0 and there's total images. Cool. So the first script was run. Let me just take a look at this code. Backfill image themes. I'm just really curious. Backfill image themes. Okay. So this is going to take the image, query them, and then for every image, it's going to skip anything that's Halloween mode. It's going to mark as undefined. Oh, give it a theme ID. And then the theme ID migrated to this. Users active theme, Halloween mode enabled. Migration is going to say Halloween enabled true, active theme Halloween, else none. Okay, cool. Wow, this is a nice theme. Okay, so now we did the first one. So it basically moves images to image.themeID. And then we're going to backfill the user themes now. So we're going to go to backfill user themes. And in here, we're going to go to this side. And now we're just going to go ahead and say run function. And so the function gets loaded down here. We're going to hit run mutation. And now it's going to do that. And now it migrated 3. So there was 3 users that got migrated over to the new schema. That's awesome. And then now the next one we're going to do, we're currently doing this in development just to make sure that this is exactly what I'll do in prod. If it breaks in prod, oh well. Honestly, we should be able to fix it with Droid. So now it migrated this to this, and we're going to verify the migration by going to verify migration. So in here, we're going to hit verify migration now. I'm going to hit run function. And now we have verify my, okay, run it. Cool. So 18 images total, 14 missing a theme ID, and then 3 users total, and then following consistency images true equals true. All migrated is false. And then we're going to have this thing here. So users are, one of his active themes missing, one with Halloween, one with new Halloween, and one with old Halloween. Interesting. So the expected output should be all migrated true. Success is this. After migration, once verification passes, deploy a cleanup PR to this. Okay, so I ran this in dev. I'm going to give it this actual output here. So I'm going to have this go in here. So can I copy this output? I'm just going to go text mate. Okay, so in here, this is all that it copied. And what I want to do is copy also all of the other stuff too, right? I don't see why not. Okay, whoops. Yeah. Come on. I hate copying from browsers. Come on. Okay, let's go. And here. Oops. So I'm basically doing a migration here. Okay, so here we go. And I'm gonna remove log. Okay. What I'm gonna do is go back to Droid and saying, okay, I followed the README in migrations, and I got to the last step, and it looks like all migrated. Okay. I kicked off the migration in dev and followed the instructions in here, and it looks like all migrated came out to false. Here are the Convex logs. Boop. Logs. Okay. All right. So now the Droid is going to help us fix this last section. So we'll see. Cool. What agent are you cooking with Sonnet High Thinking? Yeah, I'm using High Thinking right now. The best keyboard I've used is Keychron K3. Ooh, I like the Keychron keyboards, but this one has better feedback than them. Yeah. Ray will give one to all members. That'd be fire. That would be fire, actually. Pin to release for now, for sure. Haven't tried Droid yet, only cursor. Shall I go for it? If you're working on a lot of projects, I really enjoy using Droid a lot. It's so good. So the migration is counting records as not migrated when they actually don't need the migration. That's correct. I thought this would call it out. Nice. And so records created after the new schema was deployed don't have the Halloween mode, so they're set to undefined. So the migration tries to migrate them, but sets theme ID undefined, which Convex means don't update the field, so they stay unmigrated. So the fix should skip the records that don't have the old fields. So we're basically, what we're encountered is a script issue. So the way the script was written, it was expecting a certain thing, and now it's actually going to write the right values for the script to come out to be everything true. So in essence, we have like a false positive in some ways. Everything is already migrated technically, and this is just, updating the script so we can do that. So backfill themes, and it's going to fix the migration script, which is great. Also, it's good to work these things out in development versus in production because, YOLO. Okay, so now let's verify the compile, can rerun. Okay, cool. So it's doing that. And then here we are. Skip the images without Halloween mode. Skips users without Halloween mode enabled, never set to preference. And then update verification, only count towards the ones that are needed for migration. Okay, perfect. Your dev records are created after the new schema. The records have never, okay, Perfect. So rerun the migrations in your dev environment. So backfill images, backfill user themes, and then verify migrations. So we should see this now. Let's go ahead and rerun these again. So I have to just go backfill themes, run function, run mutation. It should be set. Cool. Backfill user themes, run function, mutation. And then this looks like it's total users. And then I just can go back to the next one here. It's just easier for me to do this. All migrated false still. Okay, did I deploy the latest code? Let me just double check. Image true. Bonex convex dev. Just want to make sure all the latest code is applied and shipped to. So do we have any code that's hanging out? No. Okay. Okay. Okay, this checked it in. Okay. All migrated true, success true. Okay, why did it fail? Let me refresh this here. Okay, migrations, backfill themes, verify, just run function, run it. Okay, 18. Backfill user themes, run again, 18, and then verify migration. Okay. Oh, whoops. Backfill user themes, run function. I think we already did this one. Good. And then this one here, run function. Okay, false. Here we go. Copy this. Okay. Okay. Here's what I got. Okay. Run the updated code. Logs. Okay. Cool. All right. Y'all got to watch Canada win the World Series right now. Seriously? Oh, wait. Oh, God. That's crazy. I've gifted 25 subs and there's still people that aren't members. That's insane. How many people are watching this stream? Holy smokes. We got 94 people. Wow. That's insane. Yeah. There's themes modes would be nice if the database is driven. Then there should be no need to do any more code updates for those new themes. Yeah, I agree. Like just basically putting in prompts into the database directly and then just having it show up automatically in the front end, because that's all it should do. It should just enumerate a list from whatever's in the database is kind of like the cleanest way here. I'm 10 minutes in the stream. I understand the high level that the streamer pays a lot for AI tools, but only use Droid and Graphite because Droid follows instructions. I'm still confused of what's going on. I don't know what his tools and cloud infrastructure except for Convex. So I think what you're watching is basically that we're coding with AI, and the one that I really prefer to use is Droid, correct? And the reason why I like to use Droid is because of how good it is at following the instructions. Just exactly what you said. So I'm trying to understand what your question is. Yeah. So do you suggest IDE usage or terminal? I like using both. See, going back and forth with both is really nice because I'm able to search the files really quickly, like you see there, and then going back. So you can use VS Code. You can use any type of IDE to do that type of thing. I currently have Cursor because I'm using Cursor subscription, and I like to test out those models as well. So let's see. Perfect verification is fixed. What's it fixing now? So I think it's still, the problem was verification was counting images with false. Okay, so... Okay, this should show success true now. Should be 0. Just rerun the verification again. No need to rerun the backfills. Okay, verify migration. Okay, cool. So this is the only one I need to rerun. Let me just refresh. Because everything's already been backfilled, and it was just a matter of optics for verification. True, yay. Okay, so I'm basically making my test pass. But this is basically saying everything's been migrated and all the right things have been accounted for. So by the time I push this now into production, we should be able to verify that this is actually working true. So, okay, we're good. We Gucci. We are Gucci, fam. Anything else I should be telling? Anything else I need to test before I push the PRs to main. Okay, anything else I need to test in development before I push the PRs to main? Logs. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's see. What software are you using to showcase a live chat comments the way that you are? The software that I'm using is called Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is awesome. This is the way I'm able to get all these different views and stuff like that. Has all this stuff automatically kind of built in. It's like super duper nice. So if you want a cheaper Sonnet for planning and GPT codex implementation, I assume all your referrals got used, Ray? For the referrals for the Discord, have we already used 100 already? Are there 100 new people in the Discord right now? No way. No way. I got to check that right now. Hold up. Give me a second. This is insane. Let's see. Polar. You got to be kidding me. Really? I'm checking right now. I'm checking. Let's see. Usage, events, customers. Oh, let's see. Discounts. Okay, no, if you go, okay, so check this out. If you want to get in the Discord right now, huge shout outs to Coriolis. There is this amazing RFER, HTTPS rfer.me, HTTPS rfer.me/Discord. That's actually currently the pinned post right now. If you go check that out, you're going to see this. And in here is where you can go ahead and sign up for the Discord. And if you use the following code, it's called COOKWITHME. This will get you 1 free month. And this is huge shout outs to Coriolis, who gifted an insane amount of memberships on this live stream, along with some other folks who've been gifting memberships on this live stream. Thank you guys so much. This has been really incredible. Coriolis's life has been transformed from watching the streams to like being afraid of coding to actually getting in and vibing in and producing apps and stuff like that, and just kind of sharing back with the community. So I said on his behalf, I thought I would just gift everyone a free month to join the Discord and check it out. And so even if you join and you cancel, you can just kind of get in and hang out for the month and just hang out with us. You know, this is $14.99, and this, you know, this goes along with like supporting the channel and so forth. So y'all can get in with that code right now. If you say Cook with me, you get that first month for free, and just put in this code right there. And, you know, start getting in the community, start chatting up with everyone. So I think it's some really cool folks. And that's just, you know, kind of handing that off. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out. The pin post is right now. So if you're currently watching on X, you can go ahead and pop over, check it out. It's been crazy for everyone who's been watching on the other platforms. It's like YouTube is popping right now for streaming. And I think YouTube is like the future of streaming. So that's a little bit of that break there. So as of now, I think we're ready to push this thing live to prod. But before I do that, I need to do an additional test to make sure that all of the features work like they're supposed to. So I'm going to kill my apps here and then reboot them, and then making sure that we're still good with whatever features we're doing live. So I'm rebuilding my functions. Good. And then, great. And then we're going to refresh this page. So apologies for the above, counting a bug with live chat on mobile. Oh, okay. Interesting. Cool. If you keep running into the soup. Okay. What happened with the latest Sonnet 4.5 hitting different? Dude, like Sonnet 4.5 is cracked. It's so good, especially if you're using it in like a Droid type of thing. So as an admin, okay, cool. So I'm going to say, as of now, I need to fix a couple different bugs. So let's just see what's happening right here. Go to your dev homepage. You should see the theme selector drop down if a theme exists. Select Halloween, upload image, verify. Select 8-bit retro, refresh the page, log in from a different browser. Each should have independent preferences. In the admin dashboard, verify theme management section appears. Oh, let's see. It's giving me a whole testing plan. Oh, pending approved. I see theme management, but I can't add themes. Okay. So you should see 3 themes: standard, Halloween, 8-bit, toggle theme on off to refresh. Oh, okay. So there's a problem with in admin. Okay. Here we are. Let's fix some bugs. I can't deploy this to prod yet because we still have some bugs. So in here, I think I should just be able to copy and paste and drag the images in here. Okay. I've navigated to /admin. I see theme management text, but I don't see a way to manage the themes or toggles. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to basically fix this bug here. Droid is fire, yeah. Terminal versus IDE, no different. Terminal is out of 25 tokens faster. 25 tokens faster. Terminal versus IDE. No diff term. I think so. Yo, Coriolis, thank you so much for the super chat, man. You're crazy right now. Yeah, another programmer too, but definitely live code. It's been really amazing. Sonnet 4.5 has been very good for anything I throw at it. Same, yeah. I find Sonnet and Haiku creating a lot of MD files at the same time. You know, I've been kind of able to rein it in a little bit with my agents.md files, and I noticed it doesn't really create them for my app as much. So yeah, after the latest update, it feels better. Oh, it's 25 tokens faster. Oh, okay. So like the terminal versus IDE, there's no diff. Terminal is about, so the terminal has 25 tokens faster. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so what are we doing now? So I said, okay, what's happening? Okay, I said, okay, the themes aren't showing because you haven't seeded them yet. Oh, it's getting sassy. The themes table is empty. You need to run the seed function to create the initial themes. So run this in the Convex dashboard functions tab. So themes and seed initial themes. Okay, okay, dang. I didn't really run my full migration plan. It's yelling at me. Okay. Bro, Sonnet is sassy as F. Man, holy smokes. Okay, let's go to the themes and then seed initial themes. Okay, let's see. Seed initial themes. Okay, let's go. Let's go run this function. All right. So now, okay, so now we have our themes here with 3, and then we should now see it in our app for the admin. So let's refresh. Okay. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, what am I doing? Not following instructions like a boss. Look at that. We have standard mode, Halloween mode. And so now if I go back out, I should see those new themes. Because that's why I was like, why am I seeing the little Halloween mode here? Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like this. It's ugly, but I mean, it's functional right now. This is the epitome of vibe coding. Okay, so this is insane. We're still in the same Droid session, by the way, like 5 million tokens plus later, and we have not had to create a new chat. And we're fixing bugs and shipping all based off of one spec. You see why I'm really enjoying this workflow? In Cursor, I'd have to create like, okay, every 100, 200,000 tokens, I would have had to create like 20 freaking different chats. At least one for each PR. It would not have this level of detail. Oh my God. Too good, too good. Okay. I'm so hyped right now. Okay, so if I go back to admin and then I go in here and I say, I want to turn, let's turn on the 8-bit retro. Let's go. Okay, I want to test this theme out right now. Okay, let's go to the 8-bit retro. Let's go upload a photo right now. Let's go play some. Let's get it. Let's go. So is there anything else I need to do? So the functions tab. Okay, you should see this after seeding. Dude, it like made me a UI in my terminal, bro. The migration scripts will only backfill the data for the old image users, but they don't create the themes. The themes table was empty, so the admin UI had nothing to display. So the order should be deploy the code, seed the themes you are here, run the migrations, you already did this, and verify the migrations. Oh. So I probably should run the migrations, right? I did it the wrong order. Okay, so just to be clear. Okay. So we are building here, generated and completed image. Okay, so I have to refresh because I broke the WebSocket. Okay, I'm gonna fix the 8-bit prompt, but we know that at least this is working. That's wild. So let me see if I can do something else, like this one. This is awesome. This is so crazy. Transformation style, so cool. Damn, this is awesome. Oh, Super Chat only has 15 characters. That's crazy. Okay. Anyway, try the new Open Code 1.0. It's not advertised yet, but it's in the Discord for users to use. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Let me know how that goes. I'm curious to hear if you're on the Discord. What's your workstation, a Mac Mini Studio or MacBook? It's a 15-inch MacBook M3 Max. So 15-inch MacBook Pro M3 Max. And it's got 128 gigabytes of RAM. So I can live stream, I can code, and I can run ML models in the background. So that's initially what I got. So it's pretty cool. How's the pricing of Droid? They have unlimited plans? They don't have unlimited plans. They just have $200 for the 200 million token thing, but that's pretty much it. My MacBook Pro died a death. So I've transferred to the phone and no more coding for me for a couple weeks. You know, if you're getting it repaired, you can just buy one from the Apple store and then return it back because they have a 2-week return window. This is crazy. Yeah, check this out. So this is what we got so far. I got to improve the prompt, but we know that this is working now. So basically what we've done so far is we've migrated to this new architecture so we can drop multiple styles in on people. And then now if I wanted to go in and disable the Halloween one, admin, if I turn off Halloween mode, that's no longer going to be visible. See, it's Convex. It says updated theme, admin user, updated the Halloween theme. So as an admin, I've now turned off that feature and that's no longer available. So anyone who's making a transformation will only see these here. And so you'll see them here in the UI. And so the standard mode will just be there and then you can do the transformation. And then whatever you've made there, you can kind of do that. And then I could share it across and then it should still work. So cool. This is still working. This is awesome. And then if I share it without being authenticated, that should also work here as well. And then if I look at the localhost 3000 without being authenticated, I want to make sure that those routes work well. And then what I want to do is then going to go into my here and then put this up to be shown in the public gallery. And so now it requires admin approval. I just want to make sure that that didn't regress. And then in here, I have the approval and I can approve it now. So now if I'm not authenticated in here, I should see this now as the main image. Nice. This is beautiful. Oh my God. Okay. We re-architected. Oh, this is so fire. This is so amazing. I'm so hyped. Wow. Like, I hope this has inspired you. I mean, the Droid, you can see like the fluidity that we've been playing around with. Obviously, I could have done this a lot faster if I wasn't hanging out with y'all on the live stream. But in one session, how many tokens have we used up? We've gone back and forth. I've asked clarifying questions. I've gone through my migration. I've done some other stuff. We haven't even finished committing this stuff into main yet. So I could just do /cost. And so we've used up 5.8 million tokens so far. We've cached and read 17.8 million tokens. We've created 2 million in the cache so far. And so one of the advantages of doing this type of methodology and what Droid is doing underneath the hood, they're pretty heavy with their caching and their way that they're doing context management. It's stayed on track. It's followed my agents.md files. And so earlier in the stream, if you wanted to go back, I'm going to have timestamps listed so you can go back. I have links. I'll have links in the description so you can get those agents.md file prompts that I use to generate my agents.md files. Those specific files and the way that they're broken up in throughout my repo is the primary reason why I get such great accuracy and output from these types of coding agents. Droid seems to be the best at making sure that this can stay on track. It's part of the reason why I highly recommend it. I love Cursor's new UI. I love the plan mode. In fact, I love planning inside of Cursor. But the execution requires then me taking and translating every couple 100,000 tokens to a new chat window and then passing along whatever's happened into that context. That gets really annoying and it gets kind of hard to manage because then you have to do these through these little tabs in windows. Here, we've just kept one giant flow. We've kept going and going and going. Okay, I need to fix this bug now. It never lost my context. I haven't had to go back and remind it saying, oh yeah, that by the way, we're working on this, or make sure you're doing this type of thing. I'm still involved in this entire feature, which is re-architecting, what specific thing I should be choosing, removing hard-coded values from shipping too fast yesterday, and then, then moving forward now and adding a new feature, which is 8-bit, all in one shot, in one session. Droid, man. Y'all, I don't know what you're up to. So tomorrow I'm going to have an interview with one of the folks who works on the Droid stuff. And we're going to go a little bit deep, like show up tomorrow, ask some questions because we're about to go hit it like super crazy. Damn, this is too good. I gotta go bathroom too. We've been running on the stream for how long now? 2 hours and 40 minutes. We got 99 people on YouTube. We got 1,147 on X. Sheesh. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. We are cooking. This thing is just about ready to be deployed to prod. I think I got everything I need. So just to confirm, what are the steps I should do in order in prod so I don't mess this up? Okay. So I just want to make sure I rerun some of the function. Okay, so this is so good. Okay, so I have the migration backfill themes. I think I've already backfilled everything. I'm just going to double check because I ran them in the out of order. I don't think it matters actually. So skipped 22 images, run this migration, migrated 1, skipped 2, and then going to verify. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. Like we're so good. And so yeah, I'm basically just telling it to, yeah, it's streaming down the response. That's so crazy. That's insane. Cool. Is $20 enough for someone who mucks around with vibe coding from time to time? If you're like straight up vibing like the way I am, I don't, it could be. Claude Code might be interesting for you. But yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're building, I guess, is the other thing too. It's $20 is really hard these days. Abel said it's not cost effective to fix. And the new M5 MacBook Pro is too expensive to buy. I ain't an ex-Apple employee, so don't get a huge ass discount. Hey, hit me up on the Discord. I know some ex-Apple employees and I want to hook you up, bro. I got you. We'll get you that sweet discount. Let me know. Yes, I love these. As of today, as well as default rule for holiday season, return eligible until 31st of the... So today you can buy a computer and hold it until the holiday season and all the way until January 31st of next year. Oh, I'm about to go get some machines, bro. Who's ready to pull up? Yo, Coriolis, did you see this right now? This is general holiday season. I think it's November 1st. That's when it starts. Like Best Buy has a similar thing too, where you can just buy it and then like return it much, much later. Oh, hey, this is going to be fun. Low key, I might do that. Hey, is that on Amazon? I got to check the Apple store. I can't afford when you have 2 kids, Christmas around the corner. We'll return coding once I sort it out though. Okay. Yeah, hit me up, bro. I'll take care of you, bro. If it's not 90 days return window, but for any purchase until Christmas, you can get January 31st return. So 90 days today, 89 tomorrow. Okay. Try open router and deposit for $20. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you can say for sure. Better usage resets. Okay. Codex. Oh yeah. Codex is probably a good step. So now I have my whole deployment scheme for production. So for the exact order, I need to merge and deploy the code and then wait for the deployment to complete. And then I need to seed the themes. So I need to run this in the Convex dashboard because the themes need to exist before we migrate to the other preferences. And then backfill the image themes. So then we run the backfill images and then we should then backfill the user stuff and then verify the migrations. If true, you're done. If success false, check your output and watch what failed. And then verify in the production UI that I see these new theme selectors. If all 3 pass, we have a success. Awesome. So this is a perfect plan. All right, folks, cool. UK. Yeah, so I think the US discount may not work. I will find out. Then again, I have tried a 4.5 yet. It wasn't out. Okay, cool. All right, so run off peak hours if possible. Fewer users, less impact. Yeah, have the Convex dashboard open, watch the logs. Okay, so this is what I'm going to go ahead and do. This is a pretty big change for my repo, and it's currently 2:30 right now in Hawaii. So probably later tonight after dinner, I'll just run this migration. It'll be midnight, and most people will be asleep across the world. So far I have like about 100 users. As far as like active users generating images every day, it's not that many. I could even run it now, but what I want to go ahead and do is kind of run that type of thing maybe like tonight when it's less busy. That way I can fix any errors and so forth. So just to kind of wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen, if I do /cost now, because literally we're pretty much done with this feature, 6 million tokens total. So from the beginning of this live stream to planning, to me yapping, to fixing bugs, to literally farting around this whole time, we've been on this vibe, and here we are shipping software with one session. This is the reason why Droid for me is just insane. So tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing one of the engineers who works there, and he's going to go into, I'm trying to see if I can get some of that secret sauce out. I'm pretty sure they've been fairly open as far as their techniques. I interviewed Ino Reyes a month ago, who's one of the co-founders of Droid, and he just said, I don't care. I could tell you everything we do because there's no way that everyone can catch up anyways. And on top of that, the more I tell people publicly what's happening, the more that the entire industry gets lifted up, because we need all these changes anyways in these models for it to do better. So there's something that the Droid is doing is kind of insane. It's part of the reason why, while I like to use Cursor, my full-time thing right now is actually Droid. It does cost money, right? These things cost quite a bit of money to use. So if you are limited on funds in terms of having a budget of $200 only, this may not be for you, especially if you code every day, right? This one implementation, 6 million tokens, if, we've only been on the stream for 2.5 hours, but if you're working a full 8-hour day and you're using this fully the entire time, or if you're using it for 10 hours, you're probably going to burn through those 2 million tokens pretty fast. Mind you, I could have switched to the middle of this to GPT-5 Codex and let it do its thing. But for me, I found Sonnet 4.5, the output, the following of the agents.md files that I've generated, everything as far as the plan and specking mode from there, fixing bugs along the way, not losing context. This is how the model just feels intelligent. I've not had to tell it, oh my God, don't do that, or stop doing this, now do that. You saw what we did completely in flow. We even went through, I asked it some clarifying questions. This is what agentic coding should feel like. Really smooth and really nice. And it's in a terminal, but the quality of output that I got for me mattered a lot more. And to me, I'm just going to continue pulling on these threads. And this is the types of things that we do. So thank you for joining so much, for being a part of the community, and for Coriolis for just amazing subs. All the other folks with the super chats. I want to give a shout out to the folks with the super chats. Scott Townsend with the super chat here. Coriolis as well. Cedarman and friends also for gifting a bunch of subs as well. Y'all are crazy. LVC with the super chat. Coriolis as well. Y'all are just coming in like amazing. And the community support has been really amazing. Also, if you haven't had a chance to, there's still some Discord coupons available. So you want to go ahead and check that out. I kind of dropped those early in the stream. I forgot what I said the exact key is, but basically you'll get a code to join the live stream, the Discord for 1 month for free. So that'd be really cool. Lee Berry again. Gift to Ray Fernando 5 memberships. My guy's making it rain. Everyone who's been in the chat right now, if you're chilling in YouTube right now, y'all got to come into the YouTube. Anyone who left early, y'all are missing out. My guy, Lee Berry, aka Coriolis, is literally making it rain on everyone right now. Like everyone who's in here is just getting membership. So like that's why you don't leave the streams early. I totally love that. This is so cool. So this is our time to connect. Let's just hang out. What do you think on Claude Code versus Droid? Because I've been building my Claude Code like skills and subagents. I think if you already invested, definitely cool. If you haven't had a chance to try Droid, you can try it right now. There's 40 million tokens. Just do that rfer.me/refactory. That'll get you, if you sign up 40 million tokens, just play with it and see if you're experiencing the same love and feel that I have. The next couple of weeks, I'm going to try to also rope in Claude Code, because Claude Code has made a ton of changes and I want to see if I'm still experiencing the same thing. I have a feeling though, because of the context window stuff, like that's my only gripe. I have to keep opening new chats. And here with 6 million tokens, how many new chats would we have to generate? 6 times 5, we'd have to open 30 chats just to complete this feature and do all the iterations we did. And we'd have to have handed off all this documentation along the way of where we're at and kind of what we're wrapping up. So that's kind of why I like coding in this methodology. But if you already have methods where it's working for you, I feel like you should just continue down that path. Definitely try stuff out, and you can see me coding with this live. But that's kind of where I stand right now. So Michael received a gift. Dude, you guys are insane. There you all go. My guy is like Oprah Winfrey right now. Coriolis, you are the MVP of the chat right now. I swear. Y'all need to give it up to Coriolis. Thank you so much for doing that. To install Droid Factory, is that the PowerShell command? Yeah, you just run that PowerShell command right now. I'll show you real quick. If you go into the chat right here, If you go to install Droid, quick start. So in the quick start, what you want to do is run this little install, and it's going to do this curl command to install it. If you have Windows, you're going to run this command. And then once you install it, you should be good to go. All you do is basically go to your project and just run Droid, and you should see basically this come up. That's the way they can get started. So that should be pretty chill and pretty easy for you to kind of get going there. And let's see what else is going on. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, with Droid, you can also bring your own key. I forgot to tell you about that. You can get an API from like an OpenAI, Anthropic. You can also do Open Router and bring in open source models. So if you're running something locally on your machine, you can use the Droid, like this whole infrastructure that I love for managing like everything on that specific model. So people are right now talking about min-max M2. If you have those weights loaded up on a machine, you can run that model locally. So I just found out about this return policy from Apple, and I low-key may buy one of these beefy ass machines for like 10K, 20K and hang on to it for a while for Christmas and try to see if I can run Droid headless on that type of thing with that really beefy model and machine. And then any other model drops that are open source, just kind of run them. So that's basically, you know, unlimited usage of those tokens. If you have access to machines, or if you have access to an API or something like that, now your cost for using the Droid is actually pretty much whatever the cost of that API cost is, or the cost of a machine. So that's an FYI. I totally forgot about that. And yeah, dude, thank you so much, JK Software. You're like really awesome too. So Ben Tossel is amazing. Yeah, Ben's amazing. Just discovered you and grabbed one of your coupons for the Discord. Thank you, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Super awesome. If you're using features of Claude Code, my guess you're probably better to stay on Claude Code. Yeah, Droid sounds like it has the system problems of elite Claude Coder. Look, I think it does. I mean, I think that's what they've been doing behind the scenes. Like, you know, the folks at Droid have just been absolutely like cooking with the chef. What the heck is Droid? Bro, Droid? Bro, you're just getting into the chat right now, bro. Yeah, the chat needs to tell them what's up with Droid. Yeah. I got 1 month and not the 40 million tokens. Hey, hit me up on the support, or if you're on X or anything, if you can hit me up even in the Discord, I will reach out to support as well and make sure that you got that 40 million tokens taken care of. So yeah, that's what's up. Look up Droid Factory. Okay, I say don't be tied to any one tool. Claude Code is my favorite. Okay, yeah, for sure. See, like there's a lot of folks who use these different ones, and this one's my favorite so far. Texas King, Claude is better at CLI management, but nowhere near Droid level. Yeah, that's interesting. As far as I know, Droid's using the same models behind the scenes. It's just set up with different system prompts caching to make them perform better against these models than the one-off Claude Code. That's exactly it. They're doing a lot of, like you say, prompt caching management, but then they're somehow keeping everything in the window. I don't know what they're doing. Like that whole thing we just did the entire time. Yeah, my guy, do I get a car or do I get an Apple computer, bro? I think you got to get an Apple computer, because that investment is into your intelligence, where a car is an asset that's actually depreciating just like a computer, but at least the computer can get you better returns, right? Droid has some of the best modeling, handling of the inference models I've seen. Yeah, for sure. It's insane. I've been using Claude Code today, though. It's been killing it. Yeah. I'm going to try Droid now. Skeptical of any newcomer dethroning Claude Code, but I've been hearing since June 20th when Anthropic released. Yeah, man, definitely try it. Yeah, Droid is the answer. Okay, bet. I'll hit you up in the Discord. Yeah, hit me up for sure. For context, I think Droid is just auto-compacting what Claude Code and codes do. It's actually more than that, and tomorrow definitely show up, because we're going to find out a little bit more about their techniques, because it's much more complicated than that, but it's not. It's interesting that no one else is really kind of doing the same techniques. But yeah, we'll see. Car equals Oprah references. Oh, okay, got it. Isn't it? Okay, the only thing I know from Oprah is bees. Like there's something about bees and everyone gets bees or something like that. So be humble. Yes. I want a gift. Yeah. I'm thinking of buying one of those 512. Hey, JK Software, find out what the return policy is for the holiday season, saying you're buying one for your son. Your son, his name is Claude, or your son, his name is Droid, and see what they say. If you know what I mean. The Droid promo thing. All right. So if you want to sign up for Droid, if you haven't done that, https://rfr.me/refactory. That's the spot right now. If you click this link, that sign up will get you that 40 million tokens right out the get-go. And if you don't, just, get in the Discord with me. Make sure you get in. I think I forgot what the code was for the Discord, but anyone else who's already joined the Discord, let them know how to get in. So that way they can get in for that free month and kind of chill with everyone. Huge courtesy to Coriolis for really just putting out there and gifting all these crazy subs and making this whole like entire YouTube thing just insanely amazing for the live stream, because like anyone who left, they kind of missing out. They thought the stream was over. They're like, I'm out of here. Like, and then we're just going to do this. So I think we're totally making it rain. So yeah, everyone's dying. Why are you so kind, Ray? Okay. So the reason is because there's so many people who have shown up in my life and have helped me along. And part of the reason why I live stream is because of that too. So I've lived an extremely unconventional life, but it's my life, right? And along the way, I've seen people who have just been really generous with their time, with their money, with their resources and various things. And if someone's helped me, then I want to help them back too, or help other people who can help other people. And that is sort of compounding interest into the future. And that's just the way that I operate. And a lot of the things that sometimes I never realized to begin with, because growing up, people really weren't that nice either. So when I choose between the two, what do I want more? It's like, I want people to be nice to me. And if I want people to be nice to me, I want that reflected back at me too. So if I create that type of environment, then it may attract other people who want to create a similar environment. So with that nature, like the fact that you're here and feeling the vibes, and hopefully other people kind of feel the same spirit, that's what's kind of cool. So one of the unique things I've learned being here in Hawaii, which is really amazing. If you ever come to Hawaii, it's the craziest thing in the world. If you're driving down a two-way road, it's really busy, and you want to make a left turn. In the US, you have to wait for that traffic to die down, and you're holding up a big line behind you. People are so generous that they'll stop traffic and they'll say, hey, come on, buddy, just go ahead and turn in front of me. That's okay. Just go ahead and go. And you don't see that anywhere else in the US. I go to all over the world. Like in the US, people are so impatient. They're just like, want to cut you off. They're like, no. And there, the vibe is just like, it's aloha, bro. Just, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, shoots. Thanks, man. Like, that's such a vibe. People at a stop sign will wait extra time so that someone else can go, or like an old grandma or something, there's just the extra thing that people do that is just like, and then that passes that on. So that kind of seeds positivity, and it feeds, people just keep paying it forward forever. And it's just the coolest thing to watch. And people who are local keep doing that. And as tourists come and they see that, they tend to like replicate it back to other people. But not everyone gets the message. But I feel like that type of environment is kind of really why I like this type of thing. And I think that's kind of why people are like really kind of into this community. So yeah, I highly highly encourage people to join. So the code, for those who are wondering, it's called COOKWITHME. So if you click the Discord link, if you're currently on the live stream right now, I have a pinned link for the Discord. If you go to this, add this coupon code down below, COOKWITHME, you're going to get that first month for free. Huge thanks to Coriolis for basically hooking everyone up with these memberships and getting stuff going. Thank you so much for kind of participating. So it's limited to 100 people right now. So the first 100 people to get in, you're going to get in. So that means when the stream is over, anyone who's watching the stream who's made it up to this point, if you can still sign up, you're able to get in. If you don't sign up, you're going to miss out on that opportunity. But it's a big shout out to Coriolis. Like, this is the biggest reason why. And I definitely appreciate that. So like, yeah, Coriolis, let's give it up, bro. This is insane. Yeah, that's what's up. Oh man, this is so cool. Man, I appreciate the community. The community, Coriolis is also so kind as well, man. Like, this is the vibe that we were working with. I love this vibe so much. So trying to farm market for AI consulting where I live, in the middle of nowhere, prairies, finding I can make agro businesses more efficient and find missing billing. Yeah, my biggest thing, like you say, if you're in the middle of nowhere, drive to where the people is. Like, there's commerce that probably happens. Go talk to them and figure out what type of business things that they need and see if you can kind of interface with them. So one of the most encouraging videos I've seen on YouTube in the last 2 weeks is this guy. He's probably in his like 60s or 70s. He's going around to these businesses and he literally talks to them and says, like, he's offering them these voice agents, but he doesn't offer the agents. He just asks about them missing phone calls, or he does businesses with them. And the way he probes and asks questions is just totally undefeated. And he's so charming, right? And that type of thing, he says, like, when people get a demo of this AI agent calling them, He says it feels like a spaceship has literally landed in front of their business. And they're just like, yep, sign me up, $1,000 a month, easy. I was like, bro, you're kidding me, right? So it's that crazy, like that arbitrage we have right now to be able to deliver lots of value for a community that we're close to. And if it's a big business pain point and you can offer a lot of value, why not do it? So that's encouraged me to reach out to my friends, and some of my friends saying, yeah, I have these tattoo shops and we miss out on so much business because there's tourists that come in. We can't even deal with that. People have phone calls. I'm in the middle of tattooing. I can't just put this pen down. I have to focus. And I'm like, that's perfect for voice agents. You have the calendar up. It can either self-book or do all these things, right? It's amazing the opportunities that are currently out there right now that are just created with this technology. I didn't realize the technology was this good yet, but it's totally cool. So that's what's up. So yeah. Oh, you just installed the Droid. It's pretty fast, right? Yeah. I'd lean into that. Arbitrage businesses definitely need help. Yeah. Just met you, Legend. Send me Discord details. Yeah. So click the Discord link. Y'all get that cook with me. Unlimited tokens if ran locally. So that's if you set up the Droid to run with a Olama and then have one of your coding agents kind of set, or one of the like min-max M2 or something like that loaded up on your machine. Yeah. Cursor 2.0, Claude 2.0 for web apps. Okay. Thank you, Coriolis, for the help. Man, Coriolis is the stream MVP, bro. Hey, I have 2 months left. A 20-year-old is better to become an agentic software engineer. Okay. Try not to pigeon yourself too much into like a specific role, but more into like a general, not generalistic, but like it's cool to start out this way, but eventually you want to learn how to ship software. And if you can contribute for a business, just get in the door. Like if your son is really young, just have him get in the door somewhere. Like go make stuff at some company, make tooling, anything. And you need to see the business, like see the business of shipping software. That is really rough. And it'll teach you a lot really quickly, much more than any school thing. One scenario where code gets deployed and then customers are yelling and they're going to lose millions of dollars for a company is worth like 5 years of some school's like master dissertation class. They're learning theory. Your son will learn hands-on decisions that are like CEOs are yelling at someone. Someone's about to get fired for checking in the wrong code. Someone is like, you know, there's just so much other things that he learns that they'll learn like just from being in the business that are just kind of like you can't describe. Once you take those with you, that forms your gut instincts for shipping software in the future, for finding bugs, and all of those things kind of compound. So just because you don't have those skills now, and AI, this is what the part where people like to claim that AI does everything. It's like, you can't, that's the human part that you learn and how to like connect these two. And that's how you become really good at prompting too, right? Like you'll see these occurrences. And I feel like anything you can do to get in the door with someone, just get in the door. Like even if it's coding for free for months or something like that. If they give you a Claude subscription, you can cook for months, take it. Yeah, that's what's up. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Okay. Wow. Speechless. Thanks. Yeah, for sure. My repo that you can find, it's on GitHub, Fernando1337. So just the similar handle as my actual YouTube. So if you just go to GitHub, Fernando1337. In here, you'll find lots of things that I've been playing around with. So I think the LLM cursor rules is probably the one that's most popular. This is probably the one that people are talking about. This is the one where I was talking about also for generate agents.md and the Claude MD. And this is the thing that I was talking about, how I generate really good agent.md files. And this is like the whole core principle. This is based off the research from all these different papers and people who are talking about these practices for managing and maintaining agents. So it's rooted in actually a research and intelligence and me actually using this and refining this over time. And so now I've published this so that people can start using this. And it's extremely useful. I find it really useful. If you remind me, anyone who's in the Discord, let me know, and then I'll see if I can post this to a specific channel, and that way y'all can find it as well there. So I just want to say this stream has been fire. I've learned so much. Thanks to everyone for the great info. I'll see you in the Discord for sure. The keyboard is called the Knob One, bro. This Knob One keyboard is insane, bro. What time is the live stream tomorrow? I think it's 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So there's an hour shift in the change. So Hawaii for me will be 7 a.m. It'll be 9 o'clock in California, and 9, 10, 11, 12, I think in Eastern time. So yeah, that's what's up. I'm in school for an AI engineer. Yo, that link that was posted earlier. Okay, yeah, that's what's up for getting into stuff. All right, fam. I think it's time to head on out. I need to use the restroom and I need to take care of other business. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for the support. It really means a lot to me that y'all are showing up at this community. Let's show up tomorrow because we got a lot of questions to ask. How is the droid so damn freaking crazy like this? How can I get 6 million tokens all up in one session? Sheesh, bro. I can't right now. All right, y'all. Peace out.